Hey Kunal, good morning. Abdul here.
Abdul, good morning.
Good morning. Hey, hi everyone. Good morning. Hope all of you are doing great. How is everyone doing? How are you all? Hey everyone. Hope you all are able to hear me. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening based on your locations. Hope all of you are doing great. So let me know how is everyone doing. Hey. Excellent. I see that all of you are doing great. Awesome. Perfect. Okay, so I would like to welcome each and every one of you to the Agentic AI session, everyone. Okay, so if you remember, like we have already completed our orientation session as part of our, let's say, previous session, like where we were able to understand, right, like as part of the orientation session, what are the prerequisites which you all need to go ahead and complete. And then at the same time, I also have given you the clarity how the course content is going to look like. And then what are the different things we should be able to consider to make this agentic AI course successful. Okay. So that is what we were being able to go ahead and discuss everyone. So now today we will start our very first session with regards to the agentic AI session. Okay. So I would just like to put some ground rules to all of you so that we all will follow the same. So the first thing here is like to make it very simple. There are a couple of rules which I'm going to let you all know, which we need to maintain in our session so that so that we can handle the things in a very appropriate way. Okay. So here the first thing which I just want to let you all know is I want you to be very attentive in the session, everyone, because all these sessions are going to play a very, very important role. Okay. And then the second important thing here is I know as there are a lot of people, right? And then as this is a diversified batch, people who know already some part of agentic AI. Okay, for you, it may not be a very new concept. For others, it may be a very new concept where they wouldn't have heard about what it is all about and how it is going to play an important role. So basically, it's a mix of different set of peoples, okay, which we are going to have in this session. I know there would be a lot of questions. Okay, maybe you would be curious to know certain things, and I absolutely encourage that. Okay, I don't deny it. But at times, what happens is like as there are a number of people, there may be a lot of questions which may be able to come in. Okay, but I would say today is our day one session, which is the first session only, where we are going to cover about the agentic AI basics and essentials so that everybody would be able to get an idea. Okay, and I'm gonna make sure that we will be definitely having in every session some hands-on activity. Okay, in every session, starting from today, every session will have a hands-on activity. So that in that way, everybody will be able to learn in a better manner and we can be able to leverage it Okay, in a really great way, so that it's not going to bore us, or it's not going to like just think that okay, we'll only talk about theory. No, theory is equally important. Along with that, we'll also do a hands-on activity so that you'll understand the concept, after which we will also be able to go ahead and do some practical part, at least that can give us a better idea. That is one thing. Second thing is, if there are a more number of questions, how much ever I can be able to answer, I'll definitely answer. Anything which is little bit more advanced, or maybe you're not sticking to the current session and you're asking me about some of the general questions which are actually not belonging to our particular, let's say today's session, then in that case, if there are a more number of questions related to it, don't worry. We will have one session dedicated for the question answer, where you can ask me all the questions and I can be able to answer them. Okay, because why am I saying this is, let's say if I keep answering all the questions, sitting one by one, then that itself will be able to take away the entire session. And again, with this, I'm not saying that I'm not going to answer. I'll answer all your questions. How much ever best I can be able to go ahead and handle, I'll be able to do that. No doubt in that. Okay, but we will make sure that we stick only to that particular topic, everyone. Why am I saying this number of times is because there are lot of modules which we are going to cover. Not everything would be covered on the day one, right? Day one is only dedicated for a particular topic. In that topic, how many ever questions you have, you ask. I will answer everything. But talking about an advanced part, or maybe thinking that, okay, what I'll cover on the day 7, day 8, that doesn't make sense on the day 1 of the today's session. So that is the reason, if there are any such questions, I'll say that I'll be answering them later when we go to that module. Okay, and make sure that you stick to the current topic and see that if there are any questions, I'll be able to assist. Second thing, if you have any questions, you can either ask in the chat, right? You can either ask in the chat, I'll be able to guide you. If not, you can raise your hand. I will be giving the option to you to unmute yourself, everyone. Okay, as there are like around more than 80 plus people in this session, so I'm going to make sure that whenever I'm delivering anything, and if you have a question, you can feel free to raise your hand. I'll be able to give you a chance to unmute yourself, where you can go ahead and ask me if there is any related question based on the topic. These are the couple of ways. And then as it is a 3-hour session, everyone, in between we will have a 10 to 15 minutes break. Okay, where we will be going through a 10 to 15 minutes break, as it is going to be an exhaustive session overall. Okay, so we will just take a 10 to 15 minutes break to refresh ourselves. We'll come back and then we'll try to continue with the remaining topics. And then the next one is, I see in the chat, many of you say that this is my first session. Like I didn't join the orientation, or maybe what are the prerequisites. Okay, so I'll just say you one thing. If you are in your LMS portal in Edureka, you will have a recorded session of the orientation session, which we already completed last week. So please go through that. Okay, please go through that particular recorded session. From there, you will be able to see whatever I have already covered. But the prerequisite for this course is Python. Okay, so if you go through some basics of Python, it will be very much helpful for you all to understand the concepts very clearly. Okay, the prerequisite is, again, today I'm going to cover a very, very basic part of the Python only. So that is the reason I'm saying you, this agentic AI course will start directly from the AI agents only, everyone. So that is the reason I'm saying that, as in my orientation session also, I made it very clear. Take some time out, try to understand, take some time out and try to understand the basics of Python. You can go through the Python official documentation. Okay, or maybe you can take a course in Edureka, or maybe you can also go ahead and check it out in the YouTube if there are any basic videos of Python, where it will assist you in making you understand how Python works, so that ultimately it will be helpful for you to handle the things appropriately. I mean, that is the very nature of taking the Python into consideration, because if you know Python, your agentic AI, whatever the development we are going to do, it is going to become very easier for all of you to understand it. I mean, that is the core idea. If you have not done it already, you can start from today. After the course is, after the day 1 session is completed, I would request you to take some basic videos related to Python. I don't want you to become advanced or master in Python, but just at least at a very high level or understanding the basics of Python will be very much helpful for all of us. So that is the overall idea. I just want to let you all know here, everyone. So these are some ground rules which I want to make it very clear to all of you. Hope everybody is clear with it. Any questions from anyone? See, the machine requirements and all, I'm going to take care of that. So you can ignore all of them. You can ignore all of them. Okay. All those things I'm going to take care of. So you don't need to worry about like whatever we have, like what we need to install, what we need to do, that I'll be taking care of. Okay. So only thing is Python is what which you need to all be able to have as a prerequisite so that it can be able to help you out in handling the things appropriately. Yeah. Over to you, Rashmi. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, sir, actually, I went to this Edureka's this training course site. In the orientation, I can see a presentation of 8 slides. Is it that, or do we have a recording as well?
You have something called as a class recordings in your LMS portal.
Yes, but it doesn't have any recording. Yeah.
Okay. No worries. I'll ask the team to have that available for you all. Okay. Not a problem.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rashmi. Over to you, Krishna Prasad. Hey, Krishna Prasad, you can unmute yourself. I've given you the chance as you have raised your hand. If you're talking, I'm not able to hear you. Okay. Probably you can just put it in the chat as we are not able to hear you, Krishna Prasad. Over to you, Anirudhu.
Hello?
See, Krishna?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Krishna.
I can hear you now.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Hello?
You have any question for me?
No, class is, I think it's supposed to start 8 or 7 o'clock, right? 7 to 10.
Oh, yeah, we already started. No? I'm already discussing.
Oh, we were discussing. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. No problem.
Okay.
No. Sure. Thank you. Yeah, Anirudhu, over to you. I see that you raised your hand quickly. Hey, the class has been started. I don't know, like maybe probably some of you are having some concerns from your end. Just please check it out. Okay. Class has already been started. We are already discussing about what has been done till date. Okay. So please make sure that if you have a question, whether the class started or not, yes, the class has already started. Okay. Yeah, Nandakishore, you have any related question? I've asked you to unmute yourself if you have a question. Okay, so I've already given the chance for the people who have raised your hand. So probably if you have any further question, you can ask me later. Okay, so now very quickly, I'm sharing my screen here, everyone. I've already shared my screen to all of you. So currently we will be going through the module 1, that is Agentic AI Essentials. Okay, the people who don't have any recorded sessions for your orientation session, right? Do not worry. I will ask the team to go ahead and upload that for you all so that you can be able to go through it. That's not a problem. And orientation session, I only highlighted one key thing. What are the different modules we are going to cover in this entire journey of the agentic AI? And I informed that the prerequisite for this course would be that if you know Python, it is going to be very helpful for you to complete this course content in a better manner. These are the only highlights I've given in the orientation session. But team will upload the orientation session in the LMS portal where you all can be able to look into it. Okay. So you'll see that there is a class recordings. In the class recordings, if you go ahead and can click on it, so you'll see something like orientation class recording. If it is already there, well and good. If it is not there, team will upload it for you so that you can go through that. Okay. I hope the people who have all the questions related to orientation class, I just want to give this as a clarity to all of you. So today, like we are going to enter into our module one, everyone, which is all about the agentic AI essentials. So this is the topic which we are going to discuss as part of our today's discussion. So let us go ahead and get started with the agentic AI essentials, where I'm going to make it very clear to all of you that how this topic is going to play as a very important role and what are all the different things we are going to consider. So agentic AI essentials is what we are going to target as part of our day one. Okay. So hope my screen is visible to all of you, right? Can you all quickly confirm? Is my screen visible to all of you? Where I'm trying to share the Edureka LMS portal right now. If yes, can you quickly confirm over the chat? In that way, it will be easier for me to refer to. Okay, perfect. I see that all of you were been able to acknowledge that you all are able to see my screen. Perfect. So let us get started with our journey then, everyone. Welcome everyone to the agentic AI world. Okay, so today, right now, we are going to cover the agentic AI essentials. Okay, so first we are going to understand the theoretical part of what is agentic AI, how it is going to play a very important role. What are all the different things we have to consider? I'm gonna make it very clear to all of you, after which we will be able to proceed further with the remaining concepts, okay, and then the hands-on part, and then how we can do practically. I'm going to explain you all of those things. Okay, so before we get started, let me okay. Perfect. So as part of the agentic AI essentials, everyone, okay, as part of the agentic AI essentials, right? What are the core things we are going to discuss today is we are going to discuss about how this agentic AI is going to work. So as a day one topic is related to agentic AI essentials. So as part of the agentic AI essentials, today we are going to understand the basics, like getting to know what is agentic AI, how it is going to play a very important role. Okay, what are all the different things we need to consider? So I'm gonna give you overall that idea so that it will be easier for all of us to refer to and then take it to the next level. Okay, so that's the major thing which we are going to discuss right now. So let me first take you to the world of understanding the agentic AI. So as part of this, what is the first topic we are going to discuss here is, like, if you see what exactly is an agentic AI, everyone. First step is that before you do some great stuff in the world of agentic AI, let us actually try to understand that what is agentic AI. See, agentic AI, when we refer to, right, this agentic AI as a topic, it says, see, I am an AI where I can act like the human being. Okay. As an agentic AI, I will be able to act like a human. Okay. Where human beings are meant for what? You know that, right? Human beings are actually meant for, like, we are really good in thinking. We are really good in deciding. We are really good in learning. And then we take the action on our own. Okay, without needing any constant instructions from anyone, we keep doing the things in whatever best way we can be able to go ahead and can handle, right? So in the same way, agentic AI is also trying to work in such a way, everyone, where it can also work like a human being, okay, where it can think, where it can decide, and then where it can actually be able to take all the action whatever is required on its own, without needing any constant instructions from the human beings. Okay, and on top of that, it doesn't just run a task, it understands the goal. What is your end goal? It plans all your steps, and then it tries to adapt the things, okay, as and when it takes up some new requirements, Okay, whenever there is a new requirement, it will be able to take it up and then plan it and then take it to the next level, everyone. So basically, when you refer to agentic AI, right? Agentic AI means it's overall a system where we are saying to act like a human, like where it can think, where it can decide, and then it can also take action on its own, right? Where we don't need any constant instructions from anyone to go ahead and provide it. That is the beauty of the agentic AI, everyone. And on top of that, if you see the key characteristics, like what is that the agentic AI can actually be able to do for us? So one is the autonomy. Okay. What happens here in autonomy means the agentic AI can actually work independently. Autonomy here means it can work independently without being told like what to do every time. You just give the instructions one time, your agentic AI system knows that how it has to work upon, and it will be able to take everything on its own. Okay, it can work independently without being told exactly like what it needs to do every time, every. And then on top of that, it is a goal oriented. Goal oriented means what? Let's say it keeps focusing on completing the real goals. Like if you give a particular goal or an objective, your agentic AI will try to go ahead, achieve that particular goal, okay? And then it will try to accomplish whatever you actually want your agentic AI system to do it. Then it also has an adaptability, everyone. Adaptability means like it will try to adjust itself. Okay, it will try to adjust itself like if something changes. Like how as a human beings, we adapt to different situations, we adapt to different requirements. In the same way, your agentic AI systems are also here adaptable. Okay, where it will try to adjust itself if something gets keep changing continuously. Okay, and on top of that, it will also have a contextual awareness, everyone. Contextual awareness means it is going to understand the situation. It's going to understand the situation or the background before acting. So before it goes and acts like as an agentic AI, first it understands the context. Okay, it will try to understand the context of the situation or a background before it goes ahead and then tries to act, everyone. That is how we are establishing the context over here. And on top of that, we are making this as an action oriented. That means it doesn't just think, it actually does the work for us. Okay, this agentic AI is just not going to sit and think for us. It actually implements and does all the work, whatever is required for us. And on top of that, your agentic AI here is a self-improving, everyone, where it is going to learn from your past actions and then it is going to get better over the time continuously. And then the collaboration. If you see the collaboration here, everyone, collaboration means it's going to work well with other agents or a system. If there is a team, like let's say there are multiple agents. So all these agents can collaboratively work and it can be able to give us the best outcome, whatever is required. And finally, we can use any external tools. We can use some tools like using APIs. Okay, just like we can use Google or Excel as an external applications or as an external tools, we can be able to integrate it with our agentic AI to make the system go in a very right direction. So ultimately, agentic AI means what, everyone? Agentic AI is like a hiring a smart assistant with us, everyone. Okay, who's not just going to follow the orders. They are going to understand the goal, what they are intended to do. They are going to ask us the right questions, and then they are going to fix the problems on their own. They will use the tools, whatever is required, and even they will improve that how they work along with the time. Okay, so they are more than tools, I would say. They are like a collaborators who's going to work with us to make our life easier so that we as a human being and machines as an agentic AI can collaborate and can come up with a very great insights and can come up with a great output which can actually help us out everyone in the long run. That is what is an agentic AI, everyone. So when you call agentic AI, this is one of the very important point and the key characteristics which every one of us should be ideally aware when we refer to the term or the terminology called as agentic AI over here. Okay. So basically, if you observe in this case, agentic AI here means it is an AI where you can act like a human. Okay, and it will make sure that your agentic AI can think, it can decide, and it can learn and it can take the action on its own without needing any constant instructions. Okay, and then the key characteristics, if you see here very clearly, one is it can work independently, like without being told what to do every time. It's a goal oriented. That means you will be given a real goal and it is going to focus on that and will try to achieve it. Adaptability, it will try to adjust itself if something changes. It will try to adapt to that, like how as a human beings we adapt to different situations. And then always it understands the situation or a background before acting. That is a contextual awareness. And then it is an action oriented, everyone, like where it doesn't just think, it actually does the work whatever is required for us. Then self improving, everyone, it is going to learn from the past actions and then it gets better over the time. And then you see there's a collaboration where it will work well with other agents as a unit or as a team. And then we can always use any external tools, like based on the application whatever we are developing. We can always connect to some external tools like Excel, PowerPoint, or maybe we can use Google. So we can use some external tools and can make our agentic AI more powerful, I would say. So these are all are the key things which you all need to be aware when you talk about the agentic AI here, everyone. So as I said, agentic AI is going to act like a smart assistant with all of us, okay, who can do some great capabilities, like where they can understand the goal, they can ask us the right question, they can fix the problems, they can improve how they work with the time. In that way, they're going to be more active collaborators with the human beings, and they're going to assist and help us out in all the best ways in which it can be able to guide us, everyone. So that is what is here. Agentic AI is what we call it as. Okay. Now, if you see the next aspect over here is, okay, so as we understood like what is agentic AI in this scenario, so I want to make it very clear, like what powers your agentic workflow, like what is that which is going to act or like a fuel where your agentic AI is going to work very effectively. What is that which is making today your agentic AI work so powerful or so effective? Okay, these are all are the things which are actually making it more powerful and more effective, everyone. Agentic AI means it's not just one thing, everyone. It's a combination of multiple moving parts which is going to work together like a team, and these are all are the things which are going to contribute and make your AI agents go in a really right direction. That is the understanding we all need to be here aware about. So let's say when I refer to the AI agents here, right? These are your mini AIs, okay, that is going to think, okay, that is going to think, and then that's going to act on their own. Okay, these AI agents are going to act like where they are going to think and act on their own. That is the capability which the AI agents are going to have. Then on the other side, it has a large language models, everyone. That is your LLMs, we call it as. What is LLMs? Large language models are nothing but your ChatGPT, your Google Gemini, Claude, Anthropic, okay, which is a service provided by like a company which has developed the Claude, or Grok or Perplexity. All these are your large language models. So these large language models are going to act like a brain for your AI agent. Now, in the human being, how brain plays an important role, everyone. So in our human being, brain plays a very important role as an intelligence. Because of the activation of the brain only, our intelligence gets enabled and we do a lot of great innovative things. Now today in the AI agents also, if you really want to utilize your AI agents for any innovative purpose, or if you want to gather that intelligence, it can only be done with the help of the LLMs here, everyone, which is called as the large language models, which we call LLMs. Okay, so these are going to act like a brain for your AI agent, where it will enable intelligence and you can answer as an AI agent in a very smart manner. Then it also gives you the support for the tools, everyone. Okay, where you can always connect to your external systems or applications. If you want to connect to any of your external applications, or maybe to any of your, let's say, any external tools, your tools will help you out in order to connect your AI agents to some external tools, whatever we require based on the case study. Okay, and then you have a feedback mechanism here, everyone. Feedback mechanism means this is a way to check whether if the agent is doing the good job or not. You can always retrospect. You can always come back and check whether as a feedback mechanism, okay, whether we are able to see that whether if the agent is really doing a great job or not. We can be able to identify that from here. And you also have the prompt engineering as another thing. Prompt engineering means here we are going to write really a smart instructions. Okay, so either you can say smart instructions or you can say smart questions we are going to ask to the agents. Okay, so prompt engineering plays a very important role where we can ask smart instructions to your agents so that it can be able to answer us in a very effective manner. And you also have a multi-agent collaboration here, everyone, where you can have many agents. Like you can have not only one agent, if you wish, you can have many agents where they can work together and they can collaborate and can give us a great result, everyone. Okay, so multi-agent collaboration means you can have many agents who can work together and can come up with the appropriate output. And finally, integrations here, everyone. Okay, you can connect the agents to any of your like real world applications. These tools, whatever we learned, right? Number 3, number 7, both are same only. Okay, you are going to integrate with any external tools if you want, so that your AI agent can be able to be more powerful. Imagine your AI agent wants some data, everyone. So you, let's say you have a database with you. You have a database with you. What you can do, you can integrate your AI agent to an external database. So from this database, it is going to fetch all the data on its own, the AI agent, and then it will start utilizing that data and will try to fetch whatever information is required for us. So instead of you supplying the data every time, if you make your AI agent connected to any external application or any external database where you already see that your data resides, you can connect to it, you can integrate it, and it can be able to help you out in generating the best responses, because it has all the data whatever is required, right? It can go into the data, say take all the data, and then it can give us the relevant response whatever we. Okay, so ultimately what are we trying to do here? So your AI agents are the systems like where they are going to think and act on their own. So to make this happen successfully, like where your AI agents can think and act on their own, right? To make this really successful, we need these AI agents, okay, integrated with the large language models. Okay, because your large language models will enable the intelligence to your AI agents. If your AI agents is not having an intelligence, then there is no purpose of having this. Imagine you as a human being, if you don't have a brain, can you function? It's not possible. So same way your AI agents need that brain or intelligence. For that we need LLMs. And at the same time, you can connect to an external tools as and when it is required. You can integrate with any external tools. Why you need external tools is you don't need to again create the tool on your own. If there is already an external tool, you can simply integrate and leverage it. For an example, I want to know the weather. I want to know the weather in, let's say, certain cities in India. So what will I do? I don't need to create an application to detect the weather. Instead, what I will do is, if there is already an existing application, okay, where it checks the weather in a very accurate manner, I'm going to use that API. I'm going to integrate the tool into my application or into my AI agent, so that whenever I say, give me the weather conditions of so and so place, XYZ place, it will go ahead, check that weather, and it will give me the response, instead of me again creating that application. So you have to be very smart in building the AI agents. So whenever I want to use any tools, I can start leveraging that tool based on the requirement. If I want to know the weather condition, if there's already a tool which is really great in weather conditions, I can use that in my AI agent. Okay, instead of me going and then trying to create that tool on my own. That's the point we need to understand. Then you always need to take the feedback mechanism where you need to check whether if the agent is doing a good job or not. And then you have the prompt engineering where you can give some smart instructions to your AI agents, where it will be able to assist and guide, like help you in a better manner. Multi-agent collaboration will allow you to have many agents working together. And then you can integrate with any of your external database or any data so that it can be able to guide you and give you the relevant responses, whatever is required everywhere. So this is the overall idea which we all need to know, like what is actually making our agentic workflow to really work in an efficient manner. So agentic AI comprises of all the points what I have explained right now. The 7 key aspects what you have discussed, I mean, or what we have discussed right now is going to play a very important role within the world of AI agents here, everyone. Okay. So this is the clarity which I just want to make it very clear to all of you in this scenario. See, everyone, you may have questions, but let us complete of the first core concepts. Once the core concepts are completed, then again I will dedicate some 5 minutes of time for only questions. At that time only I'll be taking up. So please don't think that I'm not answering your questions. As I said you, there are more than 100 plus people. If I keep only answering questions, right, then the entire session only will be going for that purpose. Whatever best I can, I'll be able to do it here. If there are any pending questions, we'll have a separate session only for question answer sessioning, okay, where I'll be able to go ahead and answer them. But right now, let me complete the core topics, and after that I'll give you 5 minutes to make sure that I handle all the questions whatever is required, and then we will be able to proceed further. Okay, so this is all about how your agentic workflow is really going to be very efficient enough. Those are the key points we discussed, everyone. Okay, now if you see the ecosystem of the AI agent, like how an AI agent ecosystem is basically going to work upon, I'm going to make it very simple to all of you. Let's say your AI agent ecosystem is going to work in such a way, like first, you are going to see there will be a user, right? User is who, like you, me, we all are the users, right? We all are the users here. So as a user, okay, we ask something, okay, or maybe we basically give a task. Okay, so we ask something or maybe we go ahead and give a task appropriately. As a user, that is what we do it. Now the AI agent which sits here, right, as one of the layer, the AI agent is going to here act like a brain, everyone. The AI agent is here going to act like a brain. So this brain is going to receive the input. Okay, this brain is going to receive the input. Okay, and then it is going to manage the input whatever is being provided by the user. So whatever the user was able to go ahead and then receive the input, like it will just try to pick up the input whatever the user was able to ask. It's just going to pick that information. Then it is going to a database. Okay, it will go to a database and the vector database. Like what is a database and vector database, everyone? AI agent, okay, AI agent basically fetches all the information. Let's say what is an AI agent, you know, everyone? Ultimately, AI agent is nothing but it is the agent where it is being trained with a huge amount of data. Okay, where it is being trained with a huge amount of data. Now, when you do a huge amount of training of the data, where do you store the data which you are using for AI agents to train it? So you are going to use those data either in the database or a vector database. Now, what is a database? Database means it's a regular structured data you are going to have within it. Database here means, everyone, within this, you are going to have your regular structured data present inside it. And what is a vector database? Vector database means like you can actually use this for storing all your documents, okay? Or you can be able to use this to store all your PDFs. All of them you can be able to use it in your vector database, everyone. Okay, so it will give you an option to do a smart search. Okay, you can smartly search all your documents, PDF, anything which you want to store, you can be able to put it in your vector database. On the other side, a normal traditional database, also both of them are going to be available. So it's up to us like which one we can be able to go ahead and utilize it. And then you have your LLM, which is a large language model. So your large language model will process the query of the user, like whatever the user is asking, right? So LLM will try to process the query, whatever the user is actually going to ask. It will process that query, okay, and then it will generate, okay, apart from that, it will process the query, it will understand the query, what the user is asking, and then it will be able to generate a very smart output at the end of the day, okay? At the end of the day, it is going to generate a very smart output. So this is the overall idea, everyone. So your LLM in between here at the center, it's going to process your query, and then at the same time, it will also try to take your entire query, whatever you're asking, it will process it, and then it will try to take the liberty to generate a smart output out of it. Okay, that is what LLM does. And finally, the action. What is an action, everyone? After generating the answer, after the LLM generates the answer, the AI agent will take that particular action. Either it will try to reply to the user, or either if you have asked the AI agent to create a report, then it will go ahead and create a report for you. Or either you're expecting a response, it will be able to generate the response to you as an end user. Okay, or either you have asked to create some dashboard, it will be able to go ahead and create the dashboard for you. Whatever is your request, your LLM will process that request as a query, will generate the smart output, and then the action in the AI agent will help you out in generating the answer. Okay, that is either it may be a report, or either it may be a response, or either it may be a dashboard. It will be able to go ahead and create it for all of us. Okay, so if you see in this case as a data flywheel, this is nothing but it is called as a feedback loop, everyone. Okay, this is like a feedback loop is what we call it as. So as the system keeps working, it is going to learn from its past interactions. It's going to become smart and more accurate day by day. That is what we call data flywheel, everyone. It's a self-improving cycle where it is going to improve on its own, and it's going to make sure that you all are going to get the best benefits of whatever is required. Okay, so basically, as an AI agent, you see that the user asking a request, and then whenever the user is asking any request, then the AI agent will pick that request. It will first send it to the database or a vector database, where whatever the user is asking, right, it will try to pick that from the information whatever it already has within its database or a vector database. It's going to fetch that information. It will send it to LLM. LLM will take that like particular data from the either database or a vector database, and then it will try to process that query, what the user is asking, and then it will generate a very smart output, and then that smart output will be picked up by the AI agent action, where either if you have asked for report, it will give the report. Either if you're asking for response, it will try to generate the response. If you're asking for dashboard, it will generate the dashboard for you. Okay, like this, as a data flywheel, if you observe here the entire cycle, whatever is present, it will keep repeating. Okay, the system will keep self-improving on its own. It will become smart and more accurate day by day, and it will be able to assist us all in a great manner. So this is what we all need to be here aware about, the AI agent ecosystem, everyone. So this is the ecosystem which we all need to be here aware about. Like where you'll have a user, where you're going to have an AI agent. Okay, user will ask a question, AI agent will pick that question, will send it to either a database or a vector database from where the data is already been available, a trained data. Then it will go to your LLM, where it will process your query, whatever you are asking, and then it will try to generate very smart output out of it. And then from the action you are going to see, after the answer is generated, the AI agent will be able to give you the response, either that it may be in the form of report generation, or either that it may be in the form of a response, or either that it may be in the form of a dashboard which we are going to create. So that is how the system is going to work. And again, the AI agent will self-improve everything on its own. The AI agent will ultimately self-improve everything on its own ultimately. So it will keep gradually improving. It will keep gradually becoming very smart and more accurate. That is what we call data flywheel, where it will act like a self-improving cycle, where it is going to improve on its own ultimately and will give you the better result at the end of the day. So this is the clarity with which we all should actually be here aware about. Okay, so this is again one of the very important aspects which I just want to make it very clear to all of you. So this is an ecosystem which every one of you should be here aware about. Now raise your hand if there are any questions, everyone. Okay, now I'll take some 2 to 3 minutes of time for any questions specifically, and then later I will be moving further with the remaining concept. Okay, let me see till now what are all the topics I covered, everyone. Based on that only I need. Okay, so AI agent ecosystem we covered. We already covered what powers the agentic workflow, and then we discussed what is agentic AI overall. So these are the 3 core topics we discussed. Any questions related to it, please go ahead. Okay, let me try to give you the chance very quickly. Yeah, Jitendra, quickly, over to you. You have any question, Jitendra, for me? Okay, I'm not able to hear you. Let me move on to Debashish.
Yeah, hi Prasad, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, can you please go to that AI ecosystem, that one, the flow you have shown?
Yeah.
Here I have not like so user is asking questions to like AI is it will take care like what I'm saying. If LLM want to do multiple queries, right? Suppose it will get some information from database, and after that again it want to do some operation on vector DB. Okay,
Correct.
so who will take care? LLM only will take care, or we have to write code?
LLM only will take care. It's the own entire game is with the LLM only. Let's say I give you some information as a human being. Who is going to process that? It's your brain which is going to process and will come up with the different probabilistic approaches for it, right? And then later you'll take a decision whichever suits the best for us. Same way here also, LLM plays a very important role in this ecosystem where it gathers all the information. I mean, you will not have anybody who will guide the LLM here. LLM is smart enough where it knows the request from the user, and at the same time it picks the data from the vector database, and then it will fetch that information, it will process it, and will generate the output to us. Nobody will guide the LLM what it actually intends to do it.
And second question is this prompt engineering. So that will be helpful for LLM or it's for like the agent, like
Yes, it is for
prompt
LLM only.
engineering.
Like it is for LLM only. Let's say ideally LLMs are what your Chat GPT, your Gemini, and then your Claude, whatever LLMs which are there in the market, right? What you ideally do with them, you ask an instruction, you ask a question, and then it generates a response to us, right? So that is a skill set. Prompt engineering is a skill set for your LLM, okay? Because your LLM can understand what exactly you want to ask. Got it?
Thank you. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, we have next. There's someone called as EG. Over to you quickly. You have a question for me? Okay, I'm not able to hear you. I see somebody called as Edureka guest here. You have any question? Mm. Guys, if you please raise your hand if you have a question really, okay? Because that in that way it will be easier for me to unmute you all and we can save some good amount of time. Anu?
Yeah, hi. I just wanted to understand, like here, you are saying about a database and a vector database. Can LLMs just have vector database, or it has
Yes.
to have a normal
No, no, no.
database as well? Like,
Not mandatory. Not mandatory, Anu. Most of the times it will be vector database only. Okay?
but
Most of the
yeah,
times it's vector database only. I mean, we are explaining this as a nomenclature, like we can have two different types, but ultimately most of the times it will be vector database only. Okay,
yeah, sure, thanks.
thank you. One by one. See, if your question is answered, I would request you to please, like, you can ignore by, I mean, like, you can just remove your hand, okay, so that I can just proceed further. Bhuvana, over to you quickly.
Hi. The very first thing I heard about AI is generative AI. So my question is how agentic AI is different from generative AI because
We'll discuss that, Bhuvana. Yeah.
okay.
We have a following topic there. I'll explain to you. Okay, not at this point of time. Further slides we have there. I'll be able to assist you. Okay, how different generative AI when compared to agentic AI. Where did actually agentic AI got evolved? Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you, Satya.
Yes, I just put it in the chat, but I'll still ask, are there any examples of vector database I haven't come across in my experience? So I just wanted
Talk
to ask
about
you.
it later. Just now we started, right? So just a
Okay,
vector
all right.
database means, just in one line, if I would say to you, see, vector database is basically a database, same as like a normal database only, but within the vector database, you're going to have all the data which is related to your personal PDF documents or maybe all your embeddings. Okay, embeddings are nothing but let's say like a programming language, like how your program gets converted into binary code like 0101 which your machine can understand, right? In the same way, vector database also will embed your data. into a lot of numbers. Okay, so that your machines can actually understand, your LLMs can actually understand and can process the input in a better manner. But again, we have a elaborative topic on the vector database in our RAG concept, maybe where we can discuss in a more detailed manner. Okay. Uh, uh, Chandrakant, you have any question for me? Okay. Moving on to Mukesh Kumar.
Hello. So here, like the flows which I understood, like the request first come from user and this will go to LLM. So now the database. So what type of database? It's like if I have some client database, yeah, some specific database. So how LLM will connect
It's only the
to that
training data.
specific database?
It's just the training data. It's not a client data and all. It's like LLMs are being trained with a huge amount of data, right? Let's say as a human being, from your experience, you would have learned a lot of different concepts. Now, all of them are there in your brain. Now, you have to process them, right? Now, let's say if somebody asks you a question, what is agentic AI? So you will process all the information which is there in your intelligence, and then you will say, okay, this is what is agentic AI all about. Correct. In the same way, database, vector database is all going to have a training data with which the AI agents are being trained with. Now, LLMs will go into the training data and it's going to pick up the relevant information, whatever is required. So that then it can process your query, whatever you have asked as a user query. It will take that query, it will process the data already, whatever which is related to it, it has been trained with. It will take that and LLM will use its intelligence on top of it and will give you a structured response so that at the end of the day, the user can understand it. That is how it's going to work, Mukesh.
Okay, so does it mean it will not going to connect some a specific database, whatever we want? So this will connect to some generic database of LLM, correct?
Exactly, with which it has been trained with. Even that integration is also possible. But right now, we are not talking about that integration where you can make your agentic AI integrate with external database. Now, whatever I'm talking about is, this is the database or vector database which is helpful for your LLMs to process the things. Okay?
Okay, how ChatGPT works, something like that, right?
Exactly. That's the same thing.
All
Okay.
right. All right, thank you.
Cool. Thank you. Anirudhu?
Hi Prashant. Just one question. So, should we have prior information on vector database to understand agentic AI better?
Not required. Not required. Vector database will automatically learn in the process only. Okay?
We will learn.
So we will learn. When we go to the RAG concept, like a retrieval augmented generation, they will learn about vector database in detail. So it's not mandatory or a prerequisite to learn beforehand itself. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, there is Una.
Yes. So agentic AI is different from AI agents, right?
Yes, exactly. I mean, different, but not very different. Okay. So I will also talk about that, the difference between AI agent and the agentic AI. Okay. We have a topic, so where we will discuss about the difference. But in one line, I'll say yes, it is different, but not very different. So they are all going to work collaboratively. Generative AI agents, agentic AI, they are all under one world only. But there is one small layer which cuts off all of them, like one boundary.
Okay.
What is that? We'll be able to learn once we move further little bit. Okay.
One other question I have is when you talked about the vector database, is this similar to like a blob storage?
Yeah, you can think in those lines only, but vector database, yes, it's like same as like however the blob storage or databases we have, it's the same thing. It's just a storage. But only
Okay.
thing is the LLMs here use vector database where within this vector database, you are going to have the data in the form of a numbers, which your
Okay.
LLMs can actually understand it. Okay.
So suppose if
That's
I
the major
upload a
idea.
document, it will get converted and stored in the vector database for the LLM to answer. Is that what you're saying?
Simple. That's
Okay.
that's the simple understanding. Correct.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
I'm
you.
good. Thank you.
Okay. Perfect. Kirti? Yeah, Deepti, you have any question? Okay. Chetan?
Yeah, hi. Yeah. So my question is with this particular diagram where user interacts with the AI agent, and as per my understanding, what you said is AI agent is trained with huge amount of data, right? So the thing is, even LLM will be trained with huge amount of data. So
Yes,
I'm not able
exactly.
to get the capture the actual difference here. So
Agentic AI.
agent.
So I'll make it very simple. I'll make it very simple so that it can be cut short here. See, what happens is agentic AI is basically is being fully dependent on LLM. Okay, let's say for an example, there's a new joinee who has joined. Okay, they have been fully dependent on the like experienced people who already know how system works. Okay, what you're going to do, you'll say that, okay, I'm not aware about this scenario, can you help me? Agentic AI will always say, hey LLMs, you have been trained with a huge and billions of data. Okay, now I want you to help me that a user is coming and asking me that particular question. Okay, tell me the weather about in a particular state. So now agentic AI says that, okay, see, I am always being dependent as a LLM onto you. So you please generate the response. I will take that action and will give it to the end user. Agentic AI is not going to have anything additionally. Agentic AI is fully dependent on LLMs, where LLMs are like intelligence and it gives the response to your agentic AI in the form of action, and that action will be given to the end user.
Okay.
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 So agentic AI is part of your LLM only. It's not anything different actually, Chetan.
Okay. So just to add one question here. So today, if I don't have AI agents, and if I want to interact with LLM, I write a prompt, right?
Correct.
I write a prompt. So let's say ChatGPT, I write a prompt. This is what I need, right? So does AI agent act on behalf of me where it writes the prompt and interacts with LLM and get the right information?
Correct, correct. It can also do that, and you can also create multiple mini agents, and all those mini agents will work collaboratively and will help you. Okay.
Okay.
That's how it's going to.
Okay, so the prompt we have to write still, right? Where we'll be writing
Yes,
it? AI agent?
still. I mean, within the AI agent only will write the prompt. AI agent will take that prompt and will interact with the LLM, Chetan. Okay.
Okay, okay, got
You
it.
will within the world of AI agent. AI agent will then take what it has to do further with LLM. It will process that and will give you all the relevant output. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, I dedicated some good amount of time for questions. I'll take up the remaining questions again once we move forward, everybody. Okay, so now what am I going to do here is I'm going to bring in some more interesting things onto you, like 1 minute. Okay, so if you see here, we have some more interesting thing in this scenario, everyone. Okay, so agentic workflow operation. Okay, how the agentic workflow operations work. I mean, like what are the different things where we can actually make this go in a right direction. So that's one thing which we can look into. So first thing is always, if you understand the workflow of the agentic AI, the workflow of the agentic AI is going to work in such a way that first it understands the problem, everyone. Okay, the AI first figures out like what's wrong or what exactly the goal of the agentic AI is. It will try to first identify that, then it will execute some diagnostic steps. Okay, executing the diagnostic steps means it will start checking like all the possible causes, or it will try to gather more data in the process. Okay, then as a step 3, it will use adaptive tool use. That means based on what it finds, the AI is going to choose the right tool to fix or analyze that particular issue for all of us. And then gradually it will keep iterating. Okay, gradually it will keep iterating. If it doesn't get the expected result for us, it will try to come up again with some new steps which can actually help us out. And finally you see that it will keep finalizing and learning. Once the task is done, it will remember what it has been able to work upon, and then it will get better next time whenever you're asking the same sort of scenario for your AI agents to go ahead and work upon. I mean, what I'm trying to say is agentic AI doesn't just follow a fixed path, everyone. It is going to work especially like a problem solver here. Okay, it's going to work like a problem solver. What it tries to do is it will understand your issue, then it will test those whatever the issues which you are trying to ask. Then it will look for appropriate tool usage, which can be helpful over here. And then it will learn ultimately with multiple iterations and will come up with the best result to all of you at the end of the day. So this is how the flow works. This is how the flow is going to ideally work. When you talk about the agentic workflow operation, right? So what you have to understand in this scenario is these are the various steps in which we can be able to take up the scenario. Okay, first step is your agentic AI can understand the problem, whatever you are asking. Then it will try to execute some testing steps on top of it. It will just check what are the possible causes or how it can gather the data from the vector database. Then it will see if there are any tools which it can integrate and make it integrate seamlessly, and it can fetch some information, any external tools as such. And then later it will keep iterating. I mean, if it doesn't get the expected result, it will keep trying again with all the new steps, whatever is required, until it gets the best response. And finally, once the task is done, it will try to remember what it has worked upon, and it will get better next time gradually as we keep moving. So these are the steps with which it will keep moving further, everyone. That is how your agentic workflow is going to work. Like ideally what I explained, I'm just trying to put it up over here in a very simple manner. Okay, it takes the problem, whatever you're having, then it executes the steps, then it will look for an appropriate tool if it is required, then it will keep iterating until it gives the best solution for us. And finally, what it will do, once it keeps going through all the different results, okay, once it keeps through all the iterations, whatever the best one it chooses, it will try to give you as an output. And it always remembers that, so that whenever you want to go ahead and ask next time the same sort of a scenario, it will remember that and will guide you in a better manner. So that is how it is going to work as a very important process here, everyone. Okay. And then the next interesting thing is, okay, the next interesting thing, if you see here, the life cycle of an AI agent. Okay, and all these topics, whatever you see in the life cycle of an AI agent, we will cover in the upcoming modules. Today is our only day one module, everyone. So we are at the very basics of it. We are at the very basics of it, everyone. Okay, so please don't think that what is RAG, are we going to discuss in detail? Yes, we'll discuss everything in detail when we move forward. But I just want to give you the high level picture of how this life cycle of an AI agent is going to work. Okay, so for that, what are all the important things we need to consider? Okay, that's what I'm going to let you all right now so that you can be able to understand it in a much, much better manner. Okay, so now, first of all, if you see here, AI has some important things in it. One is your memory. Okay, in the AI agents, you have a memory here. So memory means what? Same like how we have our memory as a human brain, AI agents also has a memory. This memory will help the agents to remember the things. Basically to remember the things while it is working. One is a short term, okay, short term memory, and another one is the long term memory. Okay, one is a short term memory and another one is a long term memory. So basically memory means it will try to help your agent remember the things while it is working. Okay, what is a short-term memory? Short-term memory means basically it is like a person's working memory where they remember only the temporary information. Let's say I have given you a task right now. So you will remember this task for the time being, right now only. Let's say after the session is completed, you forgot whatever the task I have given to you. That's a short-term memory. You will only be able to have that memory as long as you are doing that task. The moment the task is completed, you will forget. You'll try to forget that what exactly is like whatever we have worked upon. That is a short-term memory. On the other side in the memory, you have a long-term memory, everyone. What is a long-term memory? Long-term memory will store all the useful knowledge that the agent can actually reuse in the future. Okay, that means basically it will try to have all the knowledge, not for shorter duration. It will try to remember that for a very longer duration, and we can reuse in the future whenever we require it. Okay. So that is how, like as a memory, your AI agents will try to remember certain scenarios or maybe certain outputs, whatever it has been able to provide to as a user to us, right? The memory will store that information. It will try to remember them. And as a short-term memory, we will always be able to go ahead and remember that temporary information, whatever we want during the task. Okay, so that what it will do until as long as you're doing the task, it will try to remember. Once the task is completed, you can see that as a short-term memory, you'll forget what you have actually done. But in the long-term memory, you can remember all of them for a very longer duration and it can get all the assistance whatever is required. Okay, that's how your long-term memory is going to play here as an important tool. Then what else? Then you have tools present in the AI agents, everyone. So in the tools you have something called as a RAG, which is your retrieval augmented generation, we call it as. Okay, we have a separate topic for this itself, okay, in one of the module. So we call this as the retrieval augmented generation. That is what we here call it as the RAG over here. So this is helpful for us to look into your documents, look into your PDFs, and then it will try to answer them. So it will look into all your data, whatever is required, and then based on that document, whatever you are asking some questions related to the document, right, or a PDF, it will be able to go through that and then will give you the answer whatever is needed. That is one of the tool which you can use here as a RAG. Then you can also use a web operations, everyone. So web operations means here you can browse the web pages where you can integrate your websites to your, as a tool, and then you can browse your web pages and you can see any information related to it. You can have a search tools as an integration of to the tools. Search tools are nothing but you can search your database or file, whatever you want. You can have a code interpreter as one of the tool where you can read or run your code as and when it is required. I mean, these are different examples where you can integrate it as a tool to your AI agents, where you have your RAG approach, which is helpful for your retrieval augmented generation, where it will always look up for the facts from your document or from your PDF before it answers. It will always look for web operations, is always going to look for browsing the web page and then giving the relevant responses to you. And then you have your search tools, where it can search all your database and files which are required for us. And you have your code interpreter, which will help you to read and run the code as and when it is required. Okay, so that's how you can have multiple tools which can be helpful for us to generate the responses, or we can integrate these tools and make the life easier for your AI agents. Okay, and then you have planning. Okay, for AI agents, you have planning here. Now the agent plans before taking the action. Before it takes the action, the AI agents will first plan. So first of all, if you see here, it has some important things in planning. One is it has a reflection. Reflection means what? Reflection means it's going to review the result, whatever it was able to generate. So it will review like what exactly it did. So agent would have come with some response. So in the planning, and that too in the planning, if it is a reflection, it will review like whatever it has been able to do till now. And then self-critic. Self-critic means it will try to find and fix its own mistakes. If it has done any mistakes, it will find, and then at the same time, it is also going to fix that mistake, everyone. Okay. So self-critic will play an important role here, where it is going to find out, and then at the same time, it will also fix that mistake. That is a self-critic. And then you have your chain of thought over here. Chain of thought means what? It will break down. Okay, it's going to break down your entire thinking process into smaller steps. Chain of thought is nothing but it's going to break down your entire thinking into small steps over here, everyone. That is a chain of thoughts. Okay, and then sub-goal decomposition here means, sub-goal decomposition means it will split your goals, basically. It will split your big goals into some smaller tasks where it can understand and can handle your goals in a better manner. Okay, so basically sub-goal decomposition here means you are going to split that entire big goal into a smaller tasks, and you can be able to identify it appropriately. And then comes finally the action, everyone. Okay, finally it does the task. Okay, ultimately whatever the task is required, the task is going to be taken care by the action. Okay, so basically an AI agent here is working, okay, in a very smart manner, I would say. What it is trying to do, everyone, your AI agent is first trying to remember the things using memory. Then it is actually trying to plan what it needs to do. Then it is thinking in the planning also, there are different ways where it can think step by step, or it can review what it has been able to do, or it can find and fix its own mistakes, or it can split the goals. If the goal is very big, it can split it into smaller tasks and it can be able to understand. And then it can also integrate with any external tools so that it can use them in a ready-made manner. and then it will take up the action ultimately. It will take up the action, whatever we require. This is the life cycle of the agentic AI, everyone. Okay, this is what we call it as the life cycle of an agentic AI, which we all should basically here be aware about. Okay, this is what is the world of agentic AI, where it is going to help us out in all the different manners, I would say. So AI agents are going to have a memory associated where it will remember whatever the task it is currently working upon. If it is a short-term memory, if it is a long-term memory, it can remember your current task. It will remember whatever tasks you have ran before. Okay, it will try to remember everything as a long-term memory. And then in the planning, it will try to plan, like where it will try to review whatever it has been given as a like a result to you. It will try to find out if there are any mistakes. It will try to break down your big task into smaller ones, and then it will try to split your goals into smaller tasks. Okay, and then you have a tools where you can integrate with external tools and can make the system much easier, and ultimately it will help you to generate the action. Okay, ultimately, it is again going to help you to generate the action like whatever is required for us. Okay, it can help us out in generating an appropriate action where you can do all the tasks which your agentic AI is actually best in doing it. So that is how your action is going to play as an important role here, everybody. Okay, so this is the understanding which you all need to be aware as part of the life cycle of an AI agent, where your AI agents are actually going to have all of these important components being required if you really want to make it more successful. So this is the understanding which you need to know. AI agents have four key things. One is memory, another one is planning, and then you have a tools, and then finally the action which your AI agent is going to give here as an output. Okay, so this is the overall thought process which you all need to know as part of the life cycle of an AI agent. Okay, so now what is that I'm going to explain to you here is, okay, the next important topic we are going to discuss right now is the difference between what is a traditional AI, what is a generative AI, what is a agentic AI. Okay, so let's now try to understand that, because that's going to help us out in a better manner, where I'm going to give you that clarity, because you all need to know, right, what is the difference we are trying to bring in terms of, let's say, traditional AI, or maybe in terms of, let's say, generative AI, or maybe in terms of agentic AI. What are the actual differences which we have with us? Okay, so that's something which I'm going to bring it right now to all of you, so that you will be able to have some clarity of how this is going to play as a very important role. Okay, so if you see here, everyone, okay, so basically, like we have three different things in this scenario, one being your traditional AI, another one being your generative AI, and then third one being your agentic AI. Okay, we are doing a comparative analysis right now on the three main types of AI which you are able to see on my screen. So one is, when you talk about your traditional AI, your traditional AI, right, it always comes with a fixed rules, everyone. Fixed rules means, let's say it will say, if so and so things work, then act like this. You'll give everything as a fixed rule. If it doesn't fall under this fixed rule, then your logic will not work. In the traditional AI, you'll say that, hey, if I join the session, mark my attendance. If I don't join the session, then what? Then you will not mark my attendance. Let's say if I join the session for only 1 hour, then it doesn't know what to do. Because there are only two things. If either you join the session, then it will mark the attendance. If you don't join the session, then it will not mark the attendance. That is how traditional AI used to work, everyone. As a decision making, it follows the fixed rules, like saying if and then condition. That is it. As long as it is there in the condition, it will work for us. If it is not there in the condition, it is not going to. It's as simple as that. Now, what is generative AI? Generative AI started generating the content everywhere. Based on what? Based on not if and then condition. Generative AI started generating the content or creating the content directly using the data patterns or using the data, which we have seen in the database or vector database. You have the data being stored. What are LLMs? LLMs are the applications of your generative AI. So generative AI is helpful or responsible for all of us to generate a new content. It will always create and generate a content using the patterns. From where? From the data. So it will try to understand the data. From that data, it will be able to generate the response based on whatever the prompt we are providing, or based on whatever the instructions we are giving for the generative AI to go ahead and work upon. So generative AI will generate the content and it will be able to give us the relevant data, whatever we. And then on the other side, you see there is a agentic AI everyone. So when I say agentic AI means what it will try to do. Your agentic AI is going to think. Okay, your agentic AI will actually be able to think, and then it will decide on its own. Okay, on its own, it will be able to think and decide by itself based on whatever the goal with which it has been able to provide. So let's say your agentic AI is being given a goal. So what your agentic AI is going to do, your agentic AI will automatically be able to take up that goal and it will think and decide everything on its own. That how it has to achieve that particular goal. Okay. So that is how traditional AI used to work on if and then condition using the fixed rules. Then generative AI started learning everything from the data, where based on the user instruction or a user prompt, it will go ahead, pick up from the data with whatever it has been trained with and will give you the relevant response. And as an agentic AI, it will be able to think and decide everything on its own based on the goals, whatever we are providing it. That is how here the decision-making process will play an important role across the three different AIs which are being presented. Now, how the learning happens here? See, for the traditional AI, it will only learn when a human is going to retrain it. Okay, there should be a human being where it has to guide the traditional AI to go ahead and learn. Okay, whenever we as a human being try to retrain this traditional AI, then only it will be able to go ahead and learn. Okay, now generative AI is going to learn on a very big, huge data sets. It will learn from big data and then ultimately it will produce a creative and a smart output out of it. Let's say you will dump, for an example, thousands of cat images, for an example, or thousands of dog images to your generative AI model. So what your generative AI will do, it will learn how the cat looks like. Okay, what are the different features of a cat? And next time when you ask it to generate or draw a cat, it will try to do it in an easier manner because it has been able to learn a lot of different data sets which are related to cat. So it knows how a cat looks like. Same way, here if you see the generative AI, I'm making it very clear to all of you. Right now we are giving the capability to generative AI to go ahead, train on a huge data sets so that ultimately it can be able to generate a creative output for all of us at the end of the day. Okay, and then agentic AI will try to learn, okay, in a real time. Okay, agentic AI is going to try to learn in a real time. Okay, so what it will try to do, it will take the real time, whatever the problem we are facing or whatever the user wants, it will take that real time input and then it will process that in the LLM. So agentic AI is not going to have any data set. Agentic AI is fully dependent on your LLM, your large language model. And as your large language model is been trained with a huge amount of data, so that is where the processing will happen and it will generate the response to. So LLM is what? LLM is an application of generative AI. That is the reason you see generative AI is been trained with a huge data set so that it can always be able to generate a creative or a innovative output to the end user. And as your AI agents are totally dependent, as your AI agents within your agentic AI world, as they are totally dependent on your, let's say, generative AI, right? What it is going to do, ultimately, whatever the output which is going to come here, okay, will be totally been passed to your agentic AI where it will try to give you the relevant response, whatever you. Okay, that's how it can learn in real time and can fetch the responses, whatever is needed. Now, flexibility. If you see flexibility, traditional AI works only in the fixed environments. Okay, it will only work in fixed environment. Fixed environment means you will be given that this is a fixed scenario, then only it will work. It cannot work for dynamic scenarios, everyone. Now, in the same way, when you talk about the generative AI, the context flexibility is that it will adjust to input. Okay, it will try to adjust to input changes. Like let's say it will try to create some new images or a text. Basically, it all depends on how you are asking your prompt. Based on your prompt, your generative AI will be in a position to go ahead and change its input in whatever way we want it. Okay, it may be trained with a huge amount of data, but it all depends on what you're asking in the form of a prompt or in the form of instruction. So based on that only, it will be able to give a dynamic response at the end of the day, everyone. And even your agentic AI also is a very dynamic in nature. Okay, it will also adapt to changing requirement, like whatever you want, it will be able to go ahead and give you as a result. Okay, so you will be able to adapt to the changing tasks or tools or situations, and then it will be able to assist you in a better manner. That is the next important capability which we all need to be here aware of. Okay, and then we also have something called as autonomy over here. Right, so what is here autonomy? Autonomy means like here you still need human beings to guide every step, because human beings are training everything in the traditional AI. Now in the generative AI also we have a dependence. Until you don't write a prompt, your generative AI does not know what it needs to work upon. Okay, now agentic AI will act on its own. Okay, agentic AI will act on its own. Once you give the instruction, then it will start acting everything on its own to make sure that your things are done. Whereas on the generative AI, you definitely need a prompt where this prompt is going to play a very important role for you to get the relevant response, whatever you want. In the agentic AI, you will pass your instructions one time, and that instructions will help your agentic AI to guide and do the things very much appropriate. Okay, so these are the differences which you need to know, everyone. So basically what is going to happen here is your traditional AI requires a lot of rules to proceed further. Without that fixed rules, it cannot be able to move ahead with. Your generative AI needs the prompts here. Using prompts, it always tries to generate some great output out of it. And then your agentic AI will always work like a team where it is going to plan the things, it's going to act on those things, and then it tries to adapt to different situations on its own ultimately. So this is the overall capability which we all need to know when we want to go ahead and do a comparative analysis for your traditional AI, generative AI, and agentic AI, everyone. So this is the difference. Like generative AI is always dependent on generating a new content. Okay, it is being trained with lots of data, but still, until you don't give a prompt, it doesn't know what it has to give as an output to you. Okay, that is the reason you take ChatGPT or you take your Copilot or you take your Claude, any LLM in the market you take, you always give an instructions in the form of a prompt so that it can be able to generate the response to all of us at the end of the day. Whereas on the world of agentic AI, how it is going to work, everyone, your agentic AI is going to work everything on its own. But again, there also you have to set up the instructions as a one-time process. Okay, then based on the instructions, whatever you have been able to provide, your agentic AI will work on those instructions. The moment you believe that the instructions have to change, then you can go change your instructions. Then your agentic AI will ultimately go ahead and will take those new instructions and it will ultimately follow them and will proceed further. Okay, so that is how your agentic AI is going to basically work upon. So overall, this is how you can do a comparative analysis for your traditional AI, generative AI, and then your agentic AI. Okay, where you can compare and can see some great results being classified from this entire process. So this is the overall idea. I just want to make it very clear to all of you. Now, as we were discussing about the differences between the traditional AI, generative AI, and agentic AI, I also want to make it very clear to all of you here is, okay, see, the difference between the AI agents and agentic AI. As we understood the difference between traditional AI, generative AI, and agentic AI, now what we will do is, we will just try to focus on understanding what are AI agents, what are AI agents, and then what is an agentic AI, which I think would have been a confusion in your mind right now. We are talking about AI agents, and then we are talking about the agentic AI. How different they are actually. Are they very closely interrelated? Where is that the small gap between the AI agents and agentic AI is what we'll have a look into right now. So let's say AI agents are also great. Agentic AI are also great. Okay, but AI agents are little bit, let's say, they are like a old style bots which we can create from here. Agentic AI is like a smarter AI. Okay, it's very smart in handling the things. AI agents are also very smart, but they're a little bit old school. Okay, let's understand how it's going to work. Let's say if you talk about the scope of operation, so AI agents will only, I mean, it can only do a specific or only a predefined tasks. Like let's say whatever questions it knows, it will try to ask you to ask those questions, and then it will try to answer them. So basically, most of them are predefined here. Okay, most of them are in this case predefined. But let's say when you talk about agentic AI, right, it can handle really some broader goals. Okay, it can really handle some broader goals to all of us that may change over the time. Like it can manage a project on its own. Okay, it can understand the goals, it can understand the objectives, and it will try to fulfill them. Now your goal or objective can be dynamic in nature. It can change gradually, but still your agentic AI will try to fulfill them. But your AI agents are very predefined. It will only work for, let's say you ask a question, I'll answer that. You'll ask a question, I'll answer that. You'll ask a question, I'll answer. I'll only do that. But whereas your agentic AI says, I'm not bothered about what is your question and answer. If you have a goal or an objective, I'm going to make myself responsible to make you achieve that particular goal or an objective. So to achieve that goal or an objective, what we need to do is what the agentic AI is going to work upon, so that we can ultimately achieve that goal or an objective what we actually need. So that is how your agentic AI is basically going to work upon here, everyone. And then coming to decision making, your AI agent only follows what it is being programmed to do. It will not think anything. Let's say if you have programmed your AI agent to work in one pattern, then it is only going to work in that pattern only. It doesn't have a capability to do any thinking here. So there is no thinking. So you gave a set instructions, it will only follow that. It's not going to do anything above and beyond that. Whereas on the agentic AI, it can make its own decision based on whatever the goals and objectives you have been able to provide it. Because ultimately it wants to achieve that. So for that, it can pick up any autonomous choice. That means it can make its own decision. Okay, it can always go ahead and can make its own decision, which can actually be based on the different goals and situations with which we are actually coming up with. Okay, that's how you can make some great autonomous choices. Okay, and then you have a learning capability. Learning capability means here in the AI agents, you will learn very little because you need a lot of reprogramming to improve the things here. So it has a limited learning capabilities because it's going to learn very little needs basically. Okay, now if on the other side, if you see the agentic AI, right, it is going to learn and improve automatically as it works. As it keeps working, it will automatically try to understand and know the different scenarios. It will try to understand the different outputs with which it is coming up, right? It will always learn gradually. Okay, here also that learning will happen. Here also that learning is going to happen, but that learning is going to be very little in this scenario. You always need to reprogram to increase the capability of the learning in AI agents. But your agentic AI will continuously learn, and it will continuously improve, and automatically it's going to work for all our requirements. Okay, and then moving to the human oversight here. Human oversight means what? Human oversight means here you still need people. You still need people to guide and monitor it very often, the AI agents. But your agentic AI can run mostly on its own without, or I would say without, or maybe with little amount of humans required to help the system. That's it. Okay, so in terms of human dependency, agentic AI has a very limited human dependency, everyone, whereas your AI agents require definitely some people to guide and monitor it in a very often manner. Okay, and then flexibility. If you see flexibility here, your AI agents actually follow a very rigid steps, everyone. It is not good at handling a lot of changes in the AI agents. But whereas in agentic AI, it's very dynamic in nature. That means it can change its approach. If you want to change the situation altogether, your agentic AI will always be adaptable to do that. Okay, it's very dynamic in nature. It can change its approach at any point of time whenever you want to go ahead and change the situation. Whereas on the other side, if you talk about the flexibility here, it will follow your rigid steps. Okay, and it is, I mean, not good at handling a lot of changes, but still it can be able to do great things. On the other side of the flexibility, if you see, it can like on the agentic AI, you can change its approach, you can like change the situation altogether, but still it can be able to pick it up. And finally, the goal complexity. Goal complexity means AI agents can handle only simple tasks, everyone. Like sending an email. For that, you don't need to go ahead and write a very complex AI agent. Write a simple AI agent where it can send an email to you whenever there is a report being generated. A very simple tasks like that, we can be able to use our AI agents. And whereas your agentic AI, if you talk about, it can actually manage really complex goals, like planning an event with a budget schedule, or maybe the team coordination activities, anything as such, like any complex goals, if you really want to accomplish, or if you really want to manage it successfully, then your agentic AI is going to play a very important role in that scenario. So this is all are the, at a very high level, we need to know as a difference. So AI agents are nothing but it is one level less than the agentic AI. That is the reason there is no point in actually differentiating it, because your AI agents is little lower version and agentic AI is a little higher upgraded version of it. Okay, so AI agent is like a, let's say, who needs detailed instructions for everything to work upon. Imagine AI agent is like an intern. An intern does not know everything, right? We have to guide your interns so that they will understand that how they need to work upon. And then they will be able to give us the relevant response. Your agentic AI, like your seniors, experienced people who are there in your organization. Okay, they are very smart enough. They understand the goal. They know how the challenges come and how to adapt to them. And then they make the decisions so that ultimately the things get done at the end of the day. That is the only difference. Both of them will lead to one common goal, that is to complete the task to the end user. Simple. AI agents are required to complete the tasks which are very simple in nature. Agentic AI will be required where you want to do some complex scenarios, you want to analyze some goals, you want to adapt some challenges, you want to make some great decisions. For that, you want your agentic AI required for it. Like this, you can see the difference between the AI agents and agentic AI, where we can take this into consideration and we can leverage it. That is the reason I said you, right? What is that one line which cuts off the AI agents and then agentic AI is? AI agents is meant for simple tasks. Agentic AI is meant for complex tasks. Like agentic AI is very dynamic in nature. Your AI agents are also dynamic, but they're not very dynamic in nature. If you really want to change it, then you have to go ahead and again, you have to readjust it, and then you need to give that complex scenario and make it work. But inbuilt, it doesn't have that capability, the AI agents. But agentic AI has inbuilt that capability. You give any complex scenario, your agentic AI will always help us out in order to go ahead and handle the scenario in a better manner. So these are the differences which you need to know as part of what is AI agent, what is agentic AI, what is generative AI, what is a traditional AI, and then what is a AI agents. I mean, these are all are the different differences. Clarity is what you all need to be able to emphasize. And on top of that, we also have covered the life cycle of the AI. Okay, right? As part of the life cycle of AI, we understood that how within the life cycle of an AI agents, your agents will require memory, where it will store all the results like short-term or long-term memory. Then it can integrate with a lot of external tools like a RAG or internet. It can connect and it can search the results, whatever it wants. And then it can also integrate with the planning, where you can plan and can break your big tasks into small one. You can analyze it and can come up with a proper result. And finally, an action, where it can take an action and can give you the relevant output associated with it. So these are some more other capabilities which the AI agents are actually today being providing to all of us. Okay. So that's the overall idea is what I would just want to let you all know. And one last topic before we disperse for the break, everyone. Okay. So before we disperse for the break, everybody, I'm going to make you all move into one more very simple topic which we all need to be here aware about. Okay. This is the thing. Types of AI agents, everyone. Okay. It's a very simple one. just only for your information, okay, so that you can all be a little bit more clear about what are the different types of AI agents which are available in the market right now. So one type of an AI agent is a reflex-based agents, everyone. Reflex-based agents means they simply follow, okay, if this, then that rule has to work. It's going to work like this. Let's say, for an example, if I say that if the temperature is above 25 degrees Celsius, if the temperature is above 25 degrees Celsius, then please switch off. Or if the temperature is above 25 degrees Celsius, then no thinking. Just you have to react. So if and then rules. Reflex-based agents are always going to follow the predefined rules. If so and so rule is going to work, then act like this. As I said, if I join the class, then then register the attendance. If I don't attend the class, then don't register the attendance. That is your reflex-based agents, everyone. Okay, reflex-based agents are always going to have a predefined rule where using this predefined rule you can be able to move ahead with, and that predefined rule is here nothing but that is your if and then condition. Then you have here the model-based reflex agent, everyone. What is the model-based reflex agent? That means here this model-based reflex agent is actually going to it's going to make sure that it will work like a memory. Let's say they will remember what happened earlier to make a better decisions. Okay, like model-based reflex agent means it's going to remember like what has happened actually earlier. Okay, because if it can remember what happened earlier, then it can make some great decisions. For an example, let's say what I can say. Okay, let's say like there's a robot vacuum. You have purchased a robot vacuum where it remembers your entire room layout. So now what it will do, it knows where is your furniture, where is your wall, so that next time whenever it's going to work upon, it knows where the obstruction is and it will not try to collide with it. As it remembers, right, what it will try to do, everyone, it will try to move away from different places rather than getting collided with those walls or furniture which is present. That is the beauty of remembering the things. If you remember, you know where the wall is, what is the layout of your entire room, where is your furniture, you'll get to know all of them. And then finally, you'll try to understand that how you need to take a right direction. Okay, so that's how it's going to play a very important role, your model-based reflex agent, where it will try to remember what happened earlier so that it can make some great or better decisions at the end of the day. Okay, so that's how model-based reflex agent plays an important role. Then you have your goal-based agents, everyone. Goal-based agents means these are the agents which are going to come up with a particular purpose at the end of the day. Okay, so they are not just going to react. They are going to plan the steps so that you can ultimately achieve the goal, whatever we want. Okay, whatever the goal we want to achieve. So for that, we definitely need certain steps to plan it. So let's say Google Maps. Okay, so Google Maps will plan the best route to us to reach to the destination, right? That is something like a goal-based agent, where it will always try to pick the best route to reach to a particular destination. In the same way, you can use your goal-based agents where it will plan the steps for all of us to achieve a particular goal, whatever we intend to. That is your goal-based agent here, everyone. Okay. Then you have your utility-based agent. Utility-based agent means what? Here the utility-based agent means agents which are going to choose the best option. So they are going to pick the actions that gives us the most benefit or the reward at the end of the day. So let's say utility-based agent says that, let's say I got some 5 responses out of it. Okay. Now among these 5 responses, which is that one best response which I can actually be able to provide to the end user. So it will pick up the most best response or the most best benefit or the reward, and then the AI will be able to choose that. Let's say I will ask that AI to choose, like there are 5 stocks in the market. Now choose me the best stock where I can be able to invest and I can get the maximum returns. So it will do the analysis, the utility-based agent will do the relevant analysis and it will let you know in which stock you need to be able to go ahead and provide it so that it can give you some great output or maybe great returns at the end of the day. Again, whatever it is doing is just a prediction. You cannot just blindly follow and then do the things. Okay, it will just predict and give you. Maybe later in the future, either you may get maximum benefit out of it, or maybe either you may not get it. That is again a secondary story. Okay, but what you need to understand as part of the utility-based agent here is we need to be very clear that as part of the utility-based agent, we are always going to get the best output, so or the best benefit, whatever we want. So based on that, you can ask whatever is required. It will be able to go ahead and guide you appropriately. That is your utility-based agent, everyone. Okay. Then you have your object-centric agent. Object-centric agent means what? So they are being here built to work with specific items in your environment. Let's say there is a warehouse. For an example, imagine there is a warehouse robot which is trained to recognize and organize the boxes. Okay, so that means you will give a predefined settings and it will be able to work on its own. So that is object-centric agent, everyone. So you will give an object that what it needs to work upon, and it will be able to focus on that object to go ahead and fulfill it. Okay, so they are being worked in such a way, that here, what it is going to do in this scenario here is, it will help you. It is going to help you to build your work with specific items in the environment. Let's say, as I said you, right, you have a warehouse robot. Now that warehouse robot is being trained to recognize and organize the boxes, so that it can try to organize all the boxes in your warehouse without any difficulties. So the object of the robot is to organize the boxes and recognize them. That is object-centric agent, where you give an objective and then it will be able to go ahead and work related to that. That is your object-centric agents. And finally, citizen-centric agents. So this is like your everyday life assistance, we call it as. I mean, this is good. The citizen-centric agents is going to help the people with either personal, okay, it will help us out with all the personal or maybe anything related to work, okay, without any human help. So let's say there is an AI which manages your calendar or which manages your emails or which tracks your expenses. So now let's say if you have a personal assistant who does everything for you, instead of that personal assistant, you can use your citizen-centric agent as one of the type, where it is going to help you out with all your personal or maybe all your work tasks without any human help. Okay, once you set up the instructions, it will always keep doing the same activity for you whenever you require it. Okay, that's how your citizen-centric agents are going to play as a very important role, everyone. So that's the most important thing which I just want to make it very clear to all of you. So overall, if you take an example, let's say if I use these types of AI agents, let's say in a smart hospital. So reflex-based agent, what it will do, the reflex-based agent will try to make sure that it will measure the temperature and the heart rate. If a patient's body temperature goes above 102 degree Fahrenheit, okay, or the heart rate drops suddenly, it should send an alert immediately to the respective doctor. No thinking, just it will react based on the rules whatever you provided. That is your reflex-based agent. Then how your model-based reflex agent will work in the healthcare domain. Okay, let's say it's an ICU monitoring system. So it continuously checks the patient's vitals and compares with the historical data. If there is a pattern that there is a, like let's say the patient's data is getting, or the patient's observation is getting deteriorated, immediately it will detect and it will trigger an early warning to the doctors. Okay, so what it will try to do, the model-based reflex agent is going to work in such a way that it will check the previous historical data with it and it will try to compare the current data. If there is an abnormality in the patterns, it will immediately detect and it will trigger that warning to the relevant user. That is a model-based reflex agent. Then the goal-based agent. So goal-based agent means, let's say there is during a mass casualty incident, there is a mass casualty incident which occurred, and it creates a plan to allocate the doctors, nurses and beds efficiently to save the maximum number of lives. That is how your goal-based agent will work. Let's say there is a mass casualty, lot of people have been admitted to the hospital. Your goal-based agent will create a plan, a strategic plan, where it is going to help to allocate your doctors, nurses and beds so that we can save maximum number of lives without any concerns. That is how in the strategic planning, your goal-based agents play a very, very important role everywhere. Your utility-based agent. Your utility-based agent will select the time slots that maximizes your surgeon availability for operations, and it will minimize your patient waiting time, and it will also reduce the operational cost. Okay, as you know, the utility-based agent will choose the best action, okay, that will give you the most important benefit. So utility-based agents will, it will give you the time slots based on the surgeon's availability or the doctor's availability, so that you can choose the relevant appointment and can be able to move ahead with. So it will give you the best options, like where you can meet and greet your doctor, or you can like take an appointment of your doctor and can move further. That is how your utility-based agent will give you the best options for you to interact with your surgeon or with your doctor. Object-centric agent. So let's say it understands your specific medications and then the patient identities, and then it will dispense the current dosage, like whatever is required based on the prescription. So object-centric agent means it will give you a prescription. And again, you cannot follow it directly. You always need to take the, let's say, instruction from the doctor. But your object-centric agent will always try to understand what are the medications which you always take, what is your identity. It will try to understand, and then it will dispense you the correct, whatever the dosage of medicines you need to take. Okay, and then it will let you know. Let's say the doctor gave you a prescription. Now, like how many times you have to take the prescription? One time in a day, or two times in a day, or three times in a day, either morning or either afternoon or either evening, before lunch, after lunch, or before dinner or after dinner, before breakfast or after breakfast. That particular details can be given by the object-centric agent, where it understands the medication which is being prescribed by the doctor, and then later it will let you know like how you have to take that dosage, so that it is not going to hamper you. Okay, and then later the doctor can also validate it and can give you the response that whether if it is an appropriate one or not. That is object-centric agent. And finally, the citizen-centric agent. Citizen-centric agent means it will help your patients manage all your appointments. Okay, it will remind them to take the medicines. It will track their fitness, and it will communicate with the hospital staff. It's more like you and the hospital interacting with that. That's a citizen-centric agent. Okay, so ultimately it's like a chatbot where it will interact with you. You can ask for any appointments for any particular doctor which you're looking for. Okay, or it will also give you a reminder to take the medicines at a particular point of time. It will track your fitness, and it will also communicate with the hospital staff also. It will try to communicate with your hospital staff if you want to communicate and get some reports, or maybe you are trying to look for some, like say some sort of a help from the hospitals. It can also be able to do that. In that way, I've taken one case study related to healthcare, and you can understand that how all these different types of AI agents can actually be helpful at the end of the day to all of us. Okay, these are the different types of AI agents which are available, everyone. So with this, whatever theoretical content which is required for our session, we have completed it, everyone. Now after the break, we'll take a quick break right now. After we come back from the break, right, we will leverage the remaining amount of time totally on the hands-on activity, like how we can create a very basic AI agent practically, how we can be able to interact with it, how can we be able to see that the response being generated out of it is what we are going to look into right now once we come back from the break, everyone. So today, what are all the core topics which we were being able to cover, everyone? So we have covered the types of AI agents which play a very important role within the world of AI agents. Then we have covered the difference between the traditional AI, generative AI, AI agents, and agentic AI. Those are the differences we understood. Then we understood the life cycle of an AI agent, everyone. Then we have seen the AI ecosystem altogether, how the AI agent ecosystem is actually going to work upon. Then we have seen that what are AI agents and what are the key characteristics of the AI agents. So these are some core topics which we have been able to cover till now. So after the break, once we come back, we will take up the remaining concepts which are there. See, I know you all have questions, everyone, okay? But you know the topic is also having a lot of significance. What I will do is, once we come back from the break, okay, we will start the hands-on activity. Once we are done with the hands-on activity, everything successfully, right? Last 15 minutes, last 10 to 15 minutes, I will dedicate only for your question answers. I will dedicate exclusively for your question answers. You can raise your hand, then I'll give you all the opportunities. Maybe if I have missed somebody who raised your hand while I was explaining the concept, I'm sorry for it. But otherwise, you can raise your hand again in the last 15 minutes, where I will give you all very good opportunity where you can go ahead, ask me whatever the questions you want. And I'll be able to answer them one by one accordingly. The only problem is my chat is right now somewhere 150 plus actually. Okay, because of lot of simple yes, 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 no, 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 like these responses got accumulated in my chat altogether. Now going back, I'll see in the break how much ever I can be able to go back and see whatever you all have asked so that I can collate and can answer it. And then at the end again, I'll give you time so that if any questions are there, I'll try to pick it up. Only reason why I'm not taking up questions at this point of time, like, because you know, if I sit on questions, right, everything will go on questions only. Our topic will not move ahead with. That is the reason I'm emphasizing more on topic, and last 15 minutes I'll dedicate only purely for questions, and we'll try to see what are all the different types of questions you have, and we'll try to answer them and we'll wrap it up. Okay, let's now go for a quick 10 minutes break, everyone. We'll take a quick 10 minutes break. After the 10 minutes break, once we come back, we will do a hands-on activity where I'll explain to you what we need to work upon. And after that, once your hands-on activity and everything is completed successfully, then we will see the remaining things what we can be able to take it. Okay. So thank you everyone. Let's take a 10 minutes break very quickly and let's come back after 10 minutes and we'll take up the remaining topics. Okay. Meanwhile, I'll enable the timer quickly over to you in the chat so that, in the screen, I'll share my screen so that you all can be able to go through the timer. Once the timer is done, you can come back and then join. We'll go through the hands-on activity. Thank you everyone. Okay, hope you all are back, everyone. So, a couple of things I observed in the chat. Okay, as I said in the very first part of the session only, there are 100 plus participants here. Okay, if I give everyone the liberty to unmute yourself, right? The only challenge is I don't have any concern. But sometimes there may be a lot of questions and then that may create a little bit chaos. That's the reason I say, right? You raise your hand, I'll give you the opportunity to unmute the mic and you can ask me. That's one thing. Second thing is some of you said that the chat is private and we want a chat where everything is open for people, right? That is another thing which I have seen. So I would request you, that is not under my control. So you can please request the Edureka team by dropping a mail to them. So probably they can set up the configuration accordingly so that it can be visible to all of us, whatever we are trying to interact and ask as a question, so that we don't need to repeat ourselves with whatever question we are trying to put it up, so that that can also be easier. And I do also agree, I will also put one word from my end, but otherwise I would also request you to also put up one particular word from your end also, everyone. Okay. That is one more pattern I have observed. And then the third one is, many of you have asked me what is the difference between the goal-based agent and the object-centric agent, right? So let me give you that clarity here. See, basically what happens is, everyone, like for an instance, when I talk about the goal-based agent, right? Okay, let's say when I refer and when you let you know what is the goal-based agent. So goal-based agent, when you refer to this goal-based agent, whatever is present, the very purpose of the goal-based agent is, as I gave you the healthcare case study. Okay, in the goal-based agent, you are going to think strategically. Okay, that means let's say there is a mass casualty which occurred. In that mass casualty, there are a lot of people who are admitted to hospital. Now you don't know how to handle the situation. You can use a goal-based agent strategically, where it will give a plan, where it's going to give a plan that's saying that, hey, how you can allocate your doctors with a mass casualty which occurred. Imagine that there was a natural disaster like an earthquake, or maybe there is a fire alarm, okay, anything in that matter. So there's a mass casualty, people are admitted to the hospital. You can use your goal-based agent. It can strategically come up with a great plan to allocate your doctors, okay, to allocate your nurses, to allocate your beds in a very efficient manner. Why? Because we can save some really maximum number of lives, okay? So ultimately what we can do here is, we can ultimately go ahead and can save the maximum number of lives here. For that reason only we need this. So the goal here is to save the maximum number of lives. So for that, I can come up with a great plan. I can come up with really a great plan which can actually help us out and then take the things in a really better manner. That is a goal-based agent, everyone. Now coming to what is an object-centric agent. Object-centric agent means, okay, so as you got to know the goal-based agent, so another one which I want to highlight here is our object-centric agent. Now, what does this object-centric agent means, everyone? Here, as I said, what it will try to do, first it is going to understand the medications which is being provided to the patient, and then it will give you suggestions. It will give you the suggestions that how you need to take those medications, okay, like it will give you some suggestions on dosage, okay, so it will give you, and but like let's say it's going to go ahead and say you that how you need to accurately work upon on a particular object which is given to you. Now what is the object here? The object is you have to take the medications. Now to get the best benefit of that objective, that is to take your medications, how much dosage you have to take is what the object-centric agent is going to assist you with. Okay, like whether you have to take 2 times the medications or 3 times, it will give you the best suggestion, where it can actually suggest you that what medications you are, I mean, medication is anyhow being provided, but how many times you have to take, what is the dosage. Okay, so that you can ultimately go ahead and it can help you to get rid of that particular problem which you are having. That is your object-centric agent, everyone, where it will assist you and will take you in a right direction so that we can be able to go ahead and can utilize it in a better manner. That is your object-centric agent is what we here refer to as. Okay, so that's the major idea. I just want to let you know. Goal-based agent will work strategically and will try to generate the responses to all of us. An object-centric agent is going to work more or less like to achieve a particular objective. Like let's say that, as I said, right, like it will give you some great suggestions where you can incorporate those suggestions and can be able to handle the situation very effectively. That's the major idea. Okay, so this is the clarity with which we all should be able to move ahead with is what I want to let you. Okay, so hope we are clear with it. So now what am I going to do here is, like we will do a quick demo, everyone. We'll do some quick demo. We'll try to do some hands-on activity, which can be very much helpful for you to handle the things appropriately. I mean, that's the major idea with which we are going to go ahead with right now. So the case study, whatever we are going to work upon, or the problem statement with which we are going to proceed further right now is, I'm just gonna make it very clear to all of you. Like what is the problem statement with which we are going to work upon right now. So let me put the problem statement here to all of you. Okay, the problem statement with which we are going to go ahead right now here is, like let's say, for an instance, you can say that imagine that you are creating an educator. Okay, imagine you are creating an educator. Now, where this educator will want to explain some new concepts to all of us. Okay, either those new concepts may be related to your AI or it may be related to any domain. So we are going to create an educator where this educator will take the responsibility to explain the new concepts in the world of artificial intelligence to all of us. Okay, so instead of reading some long articles, okay, instead of reading some long articles ourselves and preparing the notes, you can ask your AI directly. Okay, you can ask your AI directly in this case, where it can be able to provide us the clear answers in a very instant manner, everyone. Okay, so what are we going to do here is, we are going to create an educator agent where this educator agent will help us out to explain the new concepts in artificial intelligence. And instead of reading some long articles ourselves and then trying to prepare the notes on our own, we can ask the AI directly and it can get us some clear answers in a very quick way, or in a very instant manner it can be able to provide it. Okay, but if you see how we need to integrate and what we need to do is something which we need to understand right now. So this is our problem statement, everyone. Okay, so basically this is our problem statement where we want to create an educator agent where it will help us out to explain the new concepts in AI, and for which you don't need to go through any long articles. You can ask your AI and that itself will be able to answer to you in all the different possible scenarios. Okay, so that's the major idea with which we all should here be aware about. So now what we are going to do is, we are going to handle this scenario, everyone. So to handle this scenario, what I want all of you to do here is, I would request you to open a Google Colab, everyone. Okay, it's called as a Google Colab. So Google Colab is like a tool. Okay, Google Colab is a tool where it is going to act like an IDE, and within this Google Colab, we are going to implement the problem statement, whatever we have discussed right now. And this Google Colab tool, whatever is present, right, everyone, this Google Colab tool is totally free of use. I mean, like, you don't need to install anything. Just you have to simply go to the, like any browser, and from there you can be able to open your Google Colab. So let me first explain to you how you need to open this Google Colab tool on your own. Once you open your Google Colab tool, right, then I will explain to you what steps you need to implement. After you open your Google Colab tool, right, then we will be able to proceed further with the remaining steps, everyone. Like how we need to get started with the program, what are all the different things we need to consider is what I'll be able to explain to all of you. Okay, so let me take you to this tool called as the Google Colab, which can be easier for all of us to refer to. Okay, so let me take you to the browser first. Well, let's go to the browser, and within the browser, right, you can open a new tab and you can simply say that I need here Google Colab. Okay, so you can just simply go to the Google Colab by saying that colab.research.google.com. Let me share this link to all of you in the main chat. Okay, so let me put it to everyone. Okay, so in the chat in everyone, I just mentioned the link, and observe that once you open your Google Colab, right, everyone, once you open your Google Colab successfully, you have an option here to say new notebook. Once you open your colab.research.google.com, right, you have here the option called as a new notebook in this case, everyone. So you can just be able to go ahead and click on this new notebook. Okay, you just need to click on that new notebook. That's it. Then you will see a new notebook will be loaded and you will be able to see the screen like this. Till here is what you need to do. So you need to open your Colab dot, let's simply say Google Colab in any of the browser like Edge, Chrome, Firefox or Safari. You can use any browser and you can say Google Colab. The moment you open your Google Colab, you will get an option called as a new notebook. Just click on the new notebook. The moment you click on your new notebook, right, you should be able to see something like this. So if you are done till here, I mean, you have completed at least the setup, whatever is required. I'll give you a couple of minutes for everyone to please complete this step, everybody. Please go to the Google Colab. Within the Google Colab, I would request you all to please go ahead, try to open your Google Colab, and once you open your Google Colab, right, you should be able to see a new notebook option. Click on the new notebook, and ultimately you will see something like this. Okay, you can actually be able to see something in this manner, where you will be having a cell available, and then within this cell is where we are going to write the code. Okay, so please do till this here, everybody, quickly. In a couple of minutes, you can complete this setup. Then I will explain to you what we actually need to do in order to solve the problem statement, whatever we were being able to discuss. Please complete, and like once you are done, then I'll explain to you what we need to do next over here, everyone. So please try to complete that and let. Okay, and there was one more common question from all of you is that you don't have the orientation session recorded session. Don't worry, I already informed to the team. They will be able to ensure that the recorded session is being provided for whatever we covered in orientation session. Okay, so you don't worry. The people who don't have, I mean, people who have questions related to it, right? I mean, it will be resolved. I mean, you will be able to get it. And most of you said that in the chat you're not able to unmute. As I made it very clear to all of you, the only reason why I have not given the chance is, as you know, there are 100 plus people, and it becomes really chaotic when everybody would come and try to ask different questions at different point of time. At the last 15 minutes, I will give you the chance to unmute yourself, everybody. Then you don't even need to raise your hand. You can go ahead and ask me whatever questions you have. In that way, what we can do is we can stick to the topic, and at the same time, we can take up your questions also. That is the main intention behind it. Okay. Okay, so I think we are all done with this part. I hope you all were able to go to the Google Colab and you were being able to open the Google Colab with the new notebook option. And here is where the space where we should be able to leverage our entire code, everyone. So Google Colab will act like an IDE where we will be able to go ahead and leverage all our AI agents. Okay. So to some part we will use Google Colab, and when we go to the advanced topics, we will use the Visual Studio Code. Okay, where we will start creating the applications on our own, right? At that point of time, we are going to leverage the Visual Studio Code. But now, for all the important applications with regards to AI agents, whatever we are going to create, for that we are going to leverage the Google Colab. Okay, so now what we are going to do here, everyone, let me explain to you. So if you observe here, this is our actually the code. Okay, so let me explain to you that how this is actually going to work upon, everyone. So first of all, if you see in this scenario, right, like here, what are we trying to do? We are importing in this scenario, right? We are loading. Okay, that means we are loading the Google's Gemini Python library here. Okay, so Google dot generative AI means we are loading here Google. Okay, we are using the Google Gemini Python library. Okay, so we are using in this case Google Gemini Python library. So we are bringing that Google Gemini Python library over here and saying that, okay, and then we are saying that as a Gen AI. As a Gen AI means we are saying that use the short form for the Google.generative AI as a Gen AI over here. Okay, you can use, I mean, instead of using Google.generative AI, you can just refer to as a short term as a Gen AI. Instead of the long word like Google.generative AI every time, you can simply use as a Gen AI. So simply what are we trying to do here, everyone? We are importing the Google's Gemini Python library. That means whatever LLM we are using is what here? We are using the LLM Google Gemini. If you use OpenAI, for that we will use OpenAI Python library. If you use Claude, we will use the Claude Python library. If you use Copilot, we will use the Copilot Python library. But right now we are using the Google Gemini Python library. So for that, that's the reason we said import the Google.generative AI. And then this Google.generative AI can be represented as a Gen AI in a short form. So we just represented that here. Then you have something called as the from Google.colab import the user data. What does this mean? Since we are working on the Google Colab, as it is a online IDE tool, so what it will try to do is, okay, it will try to gather, okay, it will try to gather a data called as user data. Now, what is user data? You know, everyone, user data is a platform where you can store, okay, user data is a platform in the Google Colab where you can store your passwords, okay, where you can store your passwords or maybe your API keys or all your tokens. You can be able to store it within your user data. So basically user data, I'm saying that from the Google Colab, I need a user data. So user data is the data where you will store all your passwords, API and tokens present inside it, everyone. Okay, so now an interesting thing I'll say you here. Okay, an interesting thing I'm going to say you. Let's say for an example, what are we trying to do? We want to interact with Google Gemini. Now you cannot integrate with your Google Gemini directly. So to integrate with your Google Gemini, you need an API, everyone. Okay, API will be an integration platform for your Google Gemini. Now without an API, you cannot integrate with. Let's say when I was talking about agents get interacted with your LLMs. How will the agent get interacted with LLMs? Agents are going to get interacted with your LLMs. That is, in our case, it's Google Gemini is one of the LLM. So for that, you need API. API is required where your agent can integrate and can connect to your Google Gemini, and your Google Gemini will act like an intelligence and it will give us the response based on whatever we are asking as a user input. Whatever we learned in the AI agent ecosystem, right? Same thing we are trying to adopt here. So, but you want to connect your agent and your Google Gemini. For that, you need an API. And API is not free of cost, everyone. Okay, initially, yeah, we can create for free of cost, but APIs are always chargeable. Okay, let's say when you want some quality models, or maybe let's say when you go ahead and request, like you are sending the request like 100 times, 200 times in a day, then your API will be charged. They will do some billing for you. Whenever you interact with API, right, it will ask you that, hey, you have to pay some amount of money, because at the end of the day, it's not charity, right? It's a business. So whenever you go ahead and call API, how many number of times, accordingly, you have to pay that much amount of money to the organization who has actually built that particular LLM. In this case, it is Google. But don't worry, we have a free trial also, so that we can all be able to utilize it for demo purpose and see the results appropriately. So we will use everything for demo, but in reality, if you need a superior AI models, or if you need really some great AI models, then your API is actually chargeable, everyone. Where you need to pay really some good amount of money to integrate the API, and every time when you interact with your API, you will see that some amount of billing will be charged. That's another important story which we all here need to be aware about. Okay. So now what is that we are trying to do here is, let's try to observe, everyone. Okay. What is that the important thing which we need to understand here is, you have a user data, right, where you can store your passwords API token. So now this is where I need my API. This is where I need an API. Now, where am I going to create an API, everyone? I am going to create an API in my Google Gemini. Right? That is when I have to create an API, and then I can create that API key, and I can be able to store it in my, let's say in my respective code, so that I can interact with that API key and I can get whatever the details I want. So first of all, how to create an API key? Let me explain to you that part. So to create an API key, what you need to do here is, okay, let me guide you there, like where you can go. See, you have something called as a Google AI Studio, everyone. Let me share this link to all of you in the main chat, to every one of you. See, I just shared the link right now, which is related to Google AI Studio, everybody. Okay. So once you go to your Google AI Studio, right, where you see that within the Google AI Studio, you have a flexibility here. Within the Google AI Studio, everyone, you have a flexibility. The moment you enter into your Google AI Studio, you have something called as API keys here. Okay, and this is totally free of cost. You don't need to pay even a single rupee to create this API key. Okay, so you have to go to your API keys, and here there is an option for you to create an API key, everyone. Okay, if towards the right hand side, if you go ahead and see, there is an option to create an API key, where you can click on create an API key like this. Just you have to click on it, and now you need to search for some Google Cloud projects. Okay, so you may have some random Google Cloud project. You can select any one Google Cloud project. If you have it, well and good. If you don't have it, okay, I will explain to you how to create it, but you will get randomly one Google Cloud project, where you can select that Google Cloud project. Okay, and then you can say create the API key. Create the API key, and it will generate the API key like this. That's it. You just need to copy this API key. You just need to copy this API key and then save it in your document. You just need to copy the API key, whatever has been created like this, and save it in either your document or a notepad or OneNote, wherever you want. That's it. This is how the API key will be created. You just need to go to the URL what I provided, the Google AI Studio. In the Google AI Studio, just click on API keys. And in the API keys, you have an option to create an API key like this. Okay, and then you can be able to search for any Google Cloud projects. Okay, you can choose any one project and you can be able to move ahead with. Let's say when you're creating an API key, you don't have a project. Let's say none of the projects are visible. Okay, if your projects are not visible, then I would request what you need to do here is, okay, if it is not there, then I would request that you can just go to this console.cloud.google.com. Okay, you can go to the console.cloud.google.com. You can go to it if you don't see the project. If you don't see the project, then you have to go through it. But if you already see the project, any existing project from here, you can select that. Let's say if I say create API key, if I see any existing project from here, I can choose that directly. Then there is no need. But if you're not able to see the project and it is not allowing you, then please go here to the Google Cloud project. That is a Google Cloud. In the Google Cloud, right, see here, you have an option. In this case, if you click on this, you can create a new project. You can just click on new project. Okay, and you can provide whatever the project name you want, and then just say here create. That's it. Okay, again I'm going back here. So you see that here, what is that which is being present in this scenario? Beside the Google Cloud, right? Beside the Google Cloud, you have a flexibility here, everyone, where you can click on this, where you can click on it and you can say select a project. If you have already an existing project, you can click on it. But if you don't have it, you can just click on this new project here and then can create whatever the project you want here. You can just click on that, you can select whatever the project you want here and then you say create in this case. That's it. That is what we actually need to do in this case. If you don't see the project, if you already see the project in the Google AI Studio, well and good. You can create your API key by selecting the project, whatever is visible here, and then you can create your API key. And once your API key is created, you will be able to see that your API key will be present here. That's it. So that is the clarity with which we all should be able to be here aware about. So you can create your API key. So I'll give you a couple of minutes. Please create the API key in the Google AI Studio, everyone. If you see the project, well and good. If you don't see the project, please use the URL what I provided in the chat, that is console.cloud.google.com. Please go to it. Please enter into it. And here you have an option in the Gemini API. Click on it. Okay, beside your Google Cloud, you have an option to create a new project. Go ahead, create whatever the project you want and then say create option. That's it. So that is the clarity with which you all should be here, be aware of. So this is the overall idea with which we all should be able to move ahead with everything. So please complete it till here. Okay, so please complete and then do let me know. Please complete generating the API key, everyone. And after that, we can proceed further with the next things. Okay, so once you come into the Google AI Studio, what did I say, everyone? Just say create API key. And then if you have the Google Cloud project, you select anyone. If it is giving any random project also, please select. Okay, and then you can proceed further in creating the API key. Just once I select this project, let's say create API key. It will create the API key and you can save that API key and can store it wherever you require. Okay, that is how it should be. And if the project is not visible, then I said what? You all have to go to your Google Cloud. Okay, you have to go to your Google Cloud. So here, let's say, where is that? You see, did we have here? No, no. Okay, so basically you have to go to your console.cloud.google.com. Okay, so let's say, yeah, this is the one. So you go to the Google Cloud Console. I've already shared the URL in the chat. Okay, so what you need to do, everyone, in this scenario, you just need to go ahead and can create your own project basically. Okay, so you can see here, you can select the project. You can click on Gemini API here. There is an option to select the project in the Google Cloud and you can say new project. It will allow you to create a new project. Because why project is required, you know, because Google Cloud works in such a way that everything will be confined in a project only. Everything will be confined in a project only. So that within that project only, you can be able to save all the information, whatever you want. For that reason only we require it. I think everybody was able to generate the key. That's okay. If it is not showing Gemini API, that is absolutely fine. I mean, that is my project name basically. You can take you can see that here it will ask you to select the project. That's it. Okay, so I mean it shouldn't be the Gemini API only. You can select any project out of it. That's okay. Ultimately, you should be able to generate the key here. That's the main idea. If you are able to generate, like let's say when you say create API key, if it is selecting any random project out of it, that is also fine. If it is selecting the random project, anything from here, then you don't need to go ahead and again create a project over here. That is not required. If your key is generated successfully in the Google AI Studio, then you don't need to come and do this step. This step is required when you are not able to see any projects in your Google AI Studio. Then only you need to do this step in creating the project. Otherwise, you don't need to do this step, everyone. That's the main idea. Okay? Hope everybody is done till here. You are able to generate the key. Yeah, I see most of you have responded in the chat that you have been able to get your API key. Okay, so good. Now, okay, now let me explain to you that what are the next steps which we all have to be here aware about. Okay, quickly let me see. Raghav Rao, you have any question?
That was my old question from the previous topic, so I will just take it later. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When you
Okay.
assign a time, I'll take it later, man. Oh, thank.
Perfect. Thank you so much for understanding. Vaibhav? Okay, cool.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah, Vaibhav.
Okay. So see, I'm able to get project because initially if I'm clicking on that link, I've gone to console, I'm able to see my first project, but now how to generate a key? I'm not finding anywhere to generate a key.
Come to your Google AI. You are in your Google AI Studio?
Yeah, no, I'm into this console.
No, no. In the console, you will not be able to create key. Okay? Console is a place only for creating the project. You have to go to your Google AI Studio, the one which I shared in the chat. Okay? You have to go to your Google AI Studio. In the Google AI Studio, you have an option here to create an API key. Okay? You have to click on create an API key. Now, whatever project
When
you
I'm
have created,
trying, it's showing me permission denied. It's showing me permission denied. When
just
I'm
refresh it
clicking
once.
on those,
Refresh it once and then try to again create the API
because
key.
it's always redirecting me to available region and issues with that.
Okay, so when
And it's
give me
redirecting
one
me to
thing.
a developer page.
No worries, no worries. That's okay. So once you go ahead and once you go, did you go to Google AI Studio? Did you work on that before going to the Google console?
Yes.
So when you
So
say create
whenever
API key, yeah, go ahead, Vaibhav.
I'm going, it's giving me permission denied.
No, no.
Okay.
I'm asking
So
you.
what I'm saying, whenever I'm hitting AI Studio,
correct.
so it's giving me permission denied. I have already gone to console. I have created.
Is it your organization laptop?
Check.
Whatever the laptop you are using is your organization laptop? I'm not sure, Vaibhav. I'm not.
No.
Personal only, right? Okay. It shouldn't be the case actually. When you open the AI Studio, Google AI Studio, it should not. It's a free of usage for everyone. I mean, it shouldn't say that the permission is denied for it. Actually, I mean, it's something like which anybody can be able to go ahead and can leverage it.
So what is showing me the page that is the available region for Google AI Studio, and that you need to check. Is the issue with your region?
But region will come into the picture once we do any project. I mean, like, let's say, select a new project. That's it. It doesn't ask anything. Just you have to create a project name and then the location, no organization. And then you just create the project and the same project will be popped up once you go ahead and create an API key in the Google AI Studio. I mean, that's how the process is all about. Permission denied means just try to change the region once and check it out. Maybe you'll have the regions. Okay. So like over here, actually regions will come when we use the service accordingly. And that's where I'm little like worried, like why it is asking you about the region. Okay, so just check it out. Maybe like just use one VPN and try to work around with that part. Maybe you can be able to generate the API key, Vaibhav. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, just check it out. If still it doesn't work, let me know so that I'll be able to guide you. And then any suggestions from anyone? If you were able to create the same, I mean, face the same scenario as what Vaibhav has mentioned, you can please let me know. so that I can be able to provide it. API key, never share it with anyone. Some of you are sharing in the chat to me that you were able to generate the API key, but don't share API key with anybody. Imagine if I'm using your API key, the billing for your API key will increase because I'm using your API key without informing it to you. Okay, so API key should not be shared with anybody. That's like a password for all of you. Okay, never try to share your API key with anyone. Now, let's go into the code, everybody. So now, what am I going to do here is where I'm saying that, okay, here is where I'm saying, okay, that I need my Google API key to be utilized over here. So where can you add your Google API key in the Google Colab? I'll show you, see here. There is a small secrets option here, everyone. Okay, you see that there is a key symbol. This is a secret where you can click on the secrets. Okay, and you see that when you click on the secrets, right, you see Gemini API keys. Okay, Gemini API keys, you can click on it and you can say import the key from the Google AI Studio. You can say import the key from the Google AI Studio where you have created your API key, right? Just click on it, it will import. Okay, it will ask you what key I need to import. If you have only one key, it will get selected and you say import. Automatically that key will be imported here like this. Okay, automatically you will see that the key is actually going to be imported here successfully, everyone. Okay, so what is that you need to do? You just need to click on this drop down. First you have to go to this like let's say key symbol, click on this key symbol here, and then you say you click on the Gemini API keys drop down and say import the key from the Google AI Studio. Whatever you were able to create the API key, right? Just say import, it will automatically be imported over here. Your key will be imported in this scenario. So this is a safe place. This is a safe place where you can put your secrets, where you can put all your API tokens, your passwords, your authentication mechanisms so that nobody can actually be able to see these results. Okay, simply what you need to do, you have to click on this Gemini API keys drop down and you can say manage the keys in the Google AI Studio. Import the key from the Google AI Studio. So automatically it will import your key, whatever you created, the API key in the Google AI Studio, right? That will be automatically added inside your Gemini API. Okay, here, like this, it will be added in the secrets. That's it. This is what you need to do. Once you add that, now you can observe here very clearly, everyone. This is where we can leverage the Google API. Okay, so we are saying that, hey, whatever is in my key here, secrets, take that as my Google API key and just configure. That is what you are trying to say here very clear. Okay, now what is the next thing we are trying to say in this scenario? The next thing is now we are trying to load the Gemini model. In the Gemini, in the Google Gemini, there are a lot of models which are available, but this model is free of cost. So we are using one of the model, okay, that is Gemini AI model, and that model name is Gemini 1.5 Flash. Okay, this is the model name. This is a Google's AI model, I would say. Okay, this is the Google's AI model. Flash means, Flash is nothing but it is going to be very fast enough. Okay, it's very fast and at the same time it is also good for all your everyday tasks. Like, okay, for all your everyday tasks, okay, this Gemini 1.5 Flash plays a very important role where it's going to be fast and it's also good for all your everyday tasks, whatever you want. So we are saying that within my Gemini, Google Gemini, I need a model called as the Gemini 1.5 Flash, which is really helpful for me to generate the fast responses and it is also good for everyday tasks for me. Okay, so now we are going to store this data within the model as a variable. So my model is going to act like a variable. Within this model as a variable, I'm going to store my Gemini 1.5 Flash, the AI model which I'm going to use from the Google Gemini here, everyone. Okay, now what is the next step I'm going to do here? The next step in this case is, see, DEF is nothing but it is like where we are defining a function. This is like a keyword in a Python, okay, where I'm saying that I'm creating a function. That is the reason in orientation I made it very clear that you have to go through the prerequisites of Pythons. Okay, so DEF is nothing but it is a keyword in Python where I'm saying that I'm creating a function. And then you see there is a simple agent. Simple agent means what? It is a function name. This is the name of the function. And then you're saying that, okay, so I am saying that I will be providing a prompt. Okay, the function will input, like expect one input called as a prompt. Now, what is prompt? Prompt is a variable where I'm going to ask that instruction or a question. And then prompt is going to take up that question over here. Okay, and then later what it will try to do is, it will take the model that is Gemini 1.5 Flash. It will take that particular, let's say the model which we are mentioning here, Gemini 1.5 Flash, right? It will take that model into consideration, and we are saying that, hey Gemini, please generate a content based on the prompt which I am going to provide to you. And then return me the response. Okay, return me the response. Okay, return me the response. Only the text part I want to see. When I am trying to return the response, I need the response only in the text pattern. So whatever the response this function is going to come up with, the simple agent function in Python, by going through the model that is Gemini 1.5 Flash, it will take that model, it will generate the result, and that result is what we are going to see here in the form of a return. So it will return and give me the result whatever is required. Okay, and then if you observe here very clearly everyone, what is that we are trying to do in this scenario. Okay, so here we are making it very clear in this case, like we are providing our question right now. Okay, we are actually providing the question. Now what is that the question we are actually here trying to provide? The question is, we are making it very clear that can you explain the difference between agentic AI and AI agents? So we are asking a basic question over here. Okay, so we are creating a variable here called as a question. Now this question will take the exact text of whatever we are asking, and then it will try to provide us an answer here everyone. Okay, where we have a function called as the simple agent. Simple agent is going to here act like a function, and then it is going to take a variable called as a question. Now question is here a variable where you see that can you explain the difference between agentic AI and AI agent. It is going to take that question here into consideration. Okay, it will take that question whatever is present into consideration here everyone. So question is your input. Question is your input. Answer is your Gemini's reply. Whatever the Gemini is going to go ahead and give the reply to all of us here. Okay, and then if I further scroll down, I'm just saying that, hey, print me the question. Print me the question. The question is what? This is the one. So first it will print the question to us. The question is, it will say like this, okay, QEES, okay, because whatever is within the double quotes, right, it will just print as it is. Now what is the question? Question is this one. Okay, it will just say that can you explain the difference between agentic AI and AI agents? That is the question. And then we are saying to print the answer. So it will come like this, answer. Now who will generate the answer? Answer will be generated by this model. Based on the instruction or the prompt, whatever you have been able to provide, it will take the model, and the model will be utilized in this function simple agent, and this simple agent will take the model Gemini 1.5 Flash into consideration. It will take your question as a prompt, and then it will be able to generate the answer to all of us, like what is the difference between agentic AI and AI agent. So answer will be provided by the Google Gemini, and it will be able to generate the response to all of us. So now what are we going to do here is, in this scenario, when I go ahead and run this, when I go ahead and execute and run this, you have a run button beside this. Okay, there is a small run button where you can run your entire code which is present. And now your Google Gemini will understand the question, whatever you are asking over here, and it will be able to assist you in giving the relevant answer. Okay, so now this will get integrated. See here everyone, what it says, can you explain the difference between agentic AI and AI agents? See, it says, while the terms agentic AI and AI agent are closely related and they're often used interchangeably, but there is a important distinction. That is, AI agent is a broader term, okay, where it talks about how it can perceive the environment, how it can take action, how it can maximize its chance of successfully achieving its goals. It's just talking about the AI agent. Then agentic AI. Okay, then it says, like all agentic AI is AI agent, but not all AI agents are agentic AI. Okay, a simple rule-based chatbot is an AI agent. Okay, but it's not necessarily considered as an agentic AI. So it explains you the difference. Now, you are trying to learn on its own with the help of this education AI agent. So we created an education AI agent. This education AI agent is going to assist you. This education AI agent is all going to assist you everyone, where it will be able to guide you all in order to get the result whatever you want. You can change your question. You can ask, instead of can you explain the difference between agentic AI and AI agents, you can ask some other question over here and it will be able to generate the response. So basically what did we do? We first imported the Google's generative AI Python library. Then we, from the Google Colab, we are importing the user data where we are storing the secrets here like this. For that, that is what we call user data. Then we are using the Google API key here, okay, which is required for us to integrate it with the Google Gemini. For this, I explained you the steps that how you can be able to leverage it in the Google Gemini AI Studio. Okay, and then if you want, you can click on the Gemini API keys like this, and you can say import the key from the Google AI Studio. Just import it, you'll see the key will automatically be imported here. Then you can provide the model which we are using in the Google Gemini is Gemini 1.5 Flash model, which is super fast and efficient results it will be able to provide to us. And then we have defined a function called as a simple agent, where you are going to run your model, right? Where you are going to run your model, and that model will help you to generate the content. And whatever the content will be generated, in that I only want to see the text content. So the response, whatever it's going to provide, I only want to see the text content out of it. So now you provided your question. Okay, you provided your question that what you want in the form of a prompt, and then whatever answer is going to come. What is a simple agent, everyone? What is simple agent? Simple agent is a function which I defined here, observe. So I'm calling that function and I'm saying run the function to whatever the question which is being provided here. See, this is the question. If you observe here, this is my question. So I'm saying, please run the function simple agent to whatever question I provided it. And then print me the question here. That is the reason, see, it first prints the question in the output. When you're running the cell right here, when you're running the code using this, you'll see that first it's going to explain you the question. And then after that, it is been able to generate the answer to us. Okay, so whatever answer is going to be provided, even that also I want to print. So it should be able to go ahead and print the answer to us. And then the answer is going to be printed over here where you can see the result being provided. This is how you can be able to start with a very basic AI agent where you can integrate it with the Google Gemini and can see that the result being provided to us. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me share this code to all of you over the chat, maybe where you can all be able to practice it appropriately. Okay, let me share this entire code in the main chat for all of you. So I just shared the entire code. Okay, it didn't take the entire one. Let's say, okay, I just shared the entire code in the chat. So I would request you all to please go ahead and then try to complete it. I've shared the entire code in the chat, everyone. You can take that code, run it in your Google Colab, execute it. Only thing what you need to do is, please try to have your API key configured. Otherwise, it will not work. How to configure your API key? Go to the secrets. Okay, that is a key here. And then say Gemini API keys, click on it, import the key from the Google AI Studio. So whatever key you created, that will be imported here. Until you don't complete this step, your code will not be able to run successfully. Once you run your code successfully, right, you will be able to see the question and then the relevant answer being provided by the Google Gemini using the Gemini 1.5 Flash model. This is how we completed our first problem statement, where we created an educator agent where you provide any concept in AI, it will be able to go ahead and give you the relevant response in a better manner where you all can easily be able to understand it. So this is an educator, very basic educator agent where we are integrating it with the Google Gemini LLM and we are trying to give a question or a prompt as an instruction, and then you can be able to see the response being generated as an answer. Okay, you can always change your question and can run this cell and you can see the relevant output being generated out of it. Okay, so that is the overall idea which I just want to make it very clear for you as part of our today's session. So with this part, we are done with our today's session overall, everyone. So now I would give some time for people to go ahead, complete this entire code, whatever we have discussed. Okay, go through it line by line, whatever I explained to you, execute it from your end, check whether you are able to see the output or not. If you are done till here, and if you understood all the concepts, whatever I have explained, and if you have completed the code generation, and if you are able to see the response being generated in a very clear manner, you are done with your day one activity. Okay, you are done with your day one session. So tomorrow I will explain to you about how the Gen AI architectures are going to look like. And then we will take one more case study tomorrow also. We will do a hands-on activity where we will see, tomorrow we don't need all this API key integration and all, because one time if we set up your API key, right, the same thing we will keep running it continuously. The same API key we are going to keep running it continuously over and over. So it's a one-time setup which we need to do. Okay, and whatever you are creating in the Google Colab, right, these are your Google Drive. Everything will be stored in your Google Drive, so you can always go to your Google Drive and can access the documents, whatever you are, I mean, the respective, let's say, Python files, whatever you are creating, right, it will be saved inside your Google Drive, where you can always access and can see the information, everyone. Okay, so please go ahead, complete this till here, and once you are done till here, right, I'm not going to explain any new topic. So you can feel free to drop off from your end if you are done with all the concept understanding, if you are done with all the code understanding, if you are able to generate the output, and if you don't have any questions for me, you can please feel free to drop off by acknowledging the feedback form. If you really like the session, you can please go ahead and can rate it 5, and you can please feel free to provide your comments. Okay, the people who have questions, who have some confusions, I'm gonna come right now one by one and will try to resolve as much as I can. Okay. So let me start with Mukesh. Over to you quickly.
Yeah, to overcome with other models like ChatGPT, LGBT-5, something. So to use that, how we have to do? So this is for Gemini models.
You have to get the OpenAI API key, Mukesh, which is actually chargeable. OpenAI API key, they will give you free trial, I think, for 30 days. And that also doesn't work very frequently. But otherwise, what you need to do is, if it is an OpenAI or any other thing, only thing is the import parameter will change here. Okay, I will show you in the next future sessions, but import will be from the OpenAI, we will say OpenAI.generative AI, and we will configure, instead of Google API key here, we will configure in the secrets the OpenAI API. Okay, but OpenAI API key is chargeable. I mean, it has a very heavy cost, and because it gives you really some great outputs, right? So for that, they charge a lot. That is the reason in demo, we ideally don't prefer to go with OpenAI API key, but otherwise the process remains the same. But if you need a sample with regards to OpenAI, that how we can interact and can integrate with it, just remind me tomorrow. I'll share the relevant code with regards to it. Okay, just you have to tweak here and there a little bit. The main code remains the same here, Mukesh. Only thing what will change is, like, you just need to change the syntax a little bit here and there, which will integrate with your OpenAI. Instead of Google.generative AI, we'll say OpenAI.generative AI. And the API key which we are going to use, instead of Google API key, here we are going to use the OpenAI API key which we are going to create it. So that's how the model is going to work. Only these tweaks. The main logic and everything would still remain the same.
Okay, so one thing. So the line number second, the from google.colab import user data. So if you consider OpenAI models, do we also have to use this?
Yeah, same process. Same process. Google.colab import user data. Why you are doing? Because you are storing your credentials in the Google Colab. So whenever you are storing credentials, either it is from Google Gemini or OpenAI or Copilot, whatever LLM you are using, ultimately you will be able to get the responses being generated from here only. So for that reason only, I'm using from the Google Colab, import the user data which I'm trying to store in the secrets over here. That is the meaning of that particular line number 2.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, over to you, Prakash.
Yeah, hey, hi. So my question is, first part is like, what are the certain prerequisites? So I understand Python is there, API, how to call API or these all things. Any other prerequisite, like I have also seen you mention
even calling
prompt.
API, yeah, correct. Good. See, there are two things, Prakash. Okay, in my orientation also I said it. Two things. One is a Python, which you rightly understood it. Second thing is it's good to have a prompt engineering, but not mandatory skill set. Okay, good to have. If you have time, you can understand the prompts, whatever we are writing. It will be easier. If you don't have an exposure towards the prompt engineering, better to go through some of the basics of prompt engineering. It will be helpful. Now calling API, see, API key creation, integrating, that is anyhow we are learning in the class itself. Right? So for that we don't need again a prerequisite, because that will always be a standard process which we are going to follow in our entire class. So at least if these two things you know, that will be more than enough. And apart from that, whatever is required, I will be able to assist you in the class itself. We don't need anything else apart from it, Prakash.
Okay. And the second part is like, see, definitely we are going to have definitely many hands-on with different domain specific data. But yeah, my question is, let's say, earlier, are we also going to do some DevOps I'll kind of stuffs, or automating something like after developing something, are we going to deploy it on
We will deploy it into the
ECS
Streamlit,
or
Prakash. No CI/CD pipelines. Okay, we are not going to deploy it into any DevOps or Jenkins pipeline or maybe any other pipeline. We will deploy it into Streamlit. So we'll use Streamlit as a UI, and we will deploy it directly as one of the application which is available in your local host too. Now all those things will come in your corporate trainings. Okay, where you will have a CI/CD system configured by, because all these CI/CD systems, if you want to use, we need to get a license. Either it is a Jenkins or a GoCD or a Harness. We need to get those licenses. So which is a very difficult thing for the training institutes to purchase. So these are all will be covered in corporate batches, Prakash. The deployment and
okay, so there are corporate batches as well for the same. Okay.
that you can interact with the Educator team. Okay.
Yeah.
Corporate batches
So
for companies which they'll provide it. Yeah.
yeah, so once we'll deploy, let's say you are mentioning we'll use a different mechanism for deploying that. So once we'll deploy it, are we also going to see we are going to deploy it in any cloud framework? Not mentioning any specific, but any cloud framework like ECS, Fargate, or anywhere.
No.
Just
We
to
don't have anything as such in this course actually. Okay. In this course, we have a self-paced course. You have a self-paced course where you can go through that, where you can help see that you can integrate it with your AWS or maybe Google Vertex Cloud and can be able to deploy it. Okay.
okay.
But that's not part of this course content actually. Here,
Makes
no
sense.
deployment mechanisms would be there actually. Prakash.
Okay. So if someone is aware about those things, then after getting all
Exactly.
things,
Once they get a
we
high
can
level
integrate.
overview of what is what, once they know how to build everything, that can be integrated by just taking the Google Cloud or AWS. They'll take the account and then they can integrate and deploy it directly on top of it. That's it.
Makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, over to you, Trisha. Yeah, there, Trisha. Okay. Moving on to next, Harshvardhan.
Yeah, hi. See, my question is, I mean, what we are doing in terms of this Google Studio and importing API keys, but we also have, things like Gemini, Chat GPT, and we just put these values and get the answers. So, I mean, I'm not able to actually figure out the advantage of you using this.
It's also right. That is, see, now what happens is, this is something which you can integrate. The code what we have written is something which you can integrate as your application.
Okay.
You're getting my point. Like Google Gemini, like let's say you're creating a chatbot for an example, Ashok. Okay. Now, within your chat, you are creating your own customized chatbot. So you can create your own chatbot and you can use the Google Gemini's API key and you can create your own chatbot and people can interact in your chatbot only. They don't need to go to Google Gemini. For an example, I'm working in an organization. I don't want to use Google Gemini directly in my organization. I will create my own application, let's say a chatbot, and I'll integrate it with the API key so that people can directly use my chatbot and can ask whatever questions. But at the back end, it is going to integrate with your Google Gemini and will give you all the relevant responses. Even whatever you said is also right. There is no confusion to be taken up. There also you can write a prompt and get the response. Here what you're trying to do is the same how you can write a code and can leverage it through API and can fetch the results, is what I'm trying to let you know. Both are same, but one is one flavor where you can integrate it with your chatbot and you can be able to work upon. Another one is you don't even need to write a code, where you can just go ahead and can ask whatever question you want and it is giving you the response. So this you will get a more meaning when we move forward, when we create our own chatbot, when we create our own application, right? Then you will understand in a much better manner that how this is going to help us out in a better way. That's the major
Yeah. Actually, that was my next question. Like, we have got India chatbots where we put some question and we get the information.
Correct.
So I think in this also we should be having some option to have some predefined answers, right? Like something like that. Okay.
Exactly. For that reason only, we are getting the base concepts, foundations very clear, so that once we know these things, then when we move to little bit advanced part, it becomes much easier. Actually, that's the major idea.
Okay, fine.
Got
Thanks.
it?
Now it's clear to me. Yeah.
Thank
It's
you.
perfectly clear. Thank you.
Thank you. Over to you, Debashish.
Sir, I have some basic questions. So this generative AI, basically it will connect to LLM and get the answers for us, right? It is just basically questions and answer, prompt based, right? It will not interact with any other tools and do some action task.
It cannot
Okay.
do that. 100%.
Okay, and second thing is like this AI agents and agentic AI. So AI agents, basically it can answer the questions what I ask through LLM. Also, it can query the different database like my own database or different open source database and get the answers for me. Correct?
Perfect.
Agents.
Yes.
And agentic AI, what exactly? It is the same, right? Like a kind of
The
agents
same thing.
only.
That's what, yeah, it's the same thing. That's what I said. AI agents are nothing but your agentic AI only. But agentic AI can also handle complex scenarios. Okay, like let's say for an example, tomorrow anyhow we'll take a case study on it, but I'll just say you one thing. Let's say you can create 4 different agents. One agent for taking like reading a document. Second agent, summarizing the document. Third agent, sending the mail after summarizing that entire documentation. Fourth agent, after sending the mail, giving a reminder to you. So 4 different tasks it can do in one single shot is your agentic AI, where it can handle complex scenarios, where it can create multiple AI agents and it can give you the relevant response, whatever is.
But it completely depend upon my prompt, right? What I'm asking, whether I want
Absolutely,
to.
that's what. Exactly.
Okay.
If it's a one
So
prompt for
prompt
you, it will
engineer is.
become AI agent only. If it is a multiple, you have a complex scenario with you, Devashish, then automatically that will become a like agentic AI. It all depends on, as you rightly said, what case study we have with us. Accordingly, it will decide which one to be picked up.
Okay. And one more thing, like, see, this code, like, anyway, everything will connect to LLM only. So in this case, LLM just take the questions and give the answer. But in other cases, like where we have agentic AI, we will pass the tools also to the LLM, right? To decide which
Pass
tool.
the what? Sorry, what is it? We pass the
tools, like all the tools, whatever tools I have connected.
Yeah. Whatever we want, we can pass. If not, it can understand on its own like how it has to integrate those tools so that it can fetch the information. That is the beauty of the agentic AI. Either if you know or you don't know, if it doesn't know any data, it will externally try to connect to those tools and give us the information. Or you can configure your own tool also. What exactly you want.
But for example, like here, if I ask, right, the sample code, if I ask, like, can you book a ticket for me, from like Delhi to Mumbai?
Yeah,
So will
then
it
you
do
have to
this
say
one?
which source it is. Okay, either MMT, or you have to give the link to it, or otherwise what will happen if you don't give the description, then it may go to MMT, or it may go to GoIBibo, or it may go to Ixigo, some other platform, it will go and it will book the ticket for you. If you have a predefined tool like, to which it has to go to, then you have to give the criteria, then it will go ahead and do that for you.
And this Gemini also is a kind of agent only, right? For me, it's not just generative AI. It is doing the task for me also.
Yeah, processing and giving you the relevant action, whatever is required. Correct, Devashish.
Okay, yeah. Okay, thanks.
Got it. Yep, thank you. Over to you, Anirudh.
Yeah, thanks, Prashant. First of all, thanks for the session. I really found it very good. Secondly, the code which you shared, right? I want to save it. So when I went to file, I saw there an option in save a copy in Drive and save a copy in GitHub. So if I choose option to save in Drive, like where is it saving?
Once you save a copy in your Drive, it will be there in your Google Drive. You go to your Gmail. In your Gmail, you'll see a Google Drive option available.
Okay, and
Or
if
you
I
can.
sorry.
Go ahead. No problem.
If I choose the option for save, second last option, then whenever I log into collab with this Gmail, it will be shared, shown, is it?
Okay. Now what will happen is once you save, you're saving it in your here in the Google Colab. So whenever you come, remember this file name here. Okay. Change the file name instead of untitled 55. Let's say you can say day one agentic AI, something like this. You put it. Okay. So that you can remember it. Untitled means it will have so many files. Something like this you put. Now next time when you come, you can open this file automatically. Okay. We'll see that here. You can also locate in Drive, or else if you come, the moment you come back to your Google Colab, you'll see the same file being available for you if you save it there.
Okay. One last question, just a request. If we can have a WhatsApp or Telegram group for all the people in this batch, then if we have some issue, right, we can post there. So
Sure. I agree, but again, that discretion is under the Edureka as they are handling this entire infrastructure. I would request you one thing. Let's say, Aniruddha, just please request it to Edureka team and they'll take care of this part. Because I don't have any of your personal details, right? It's not allowed to be shared to a trainer. So Edureka team has this and they can be able to set this up for all of us. Okay, just send a request to them. They'll be able to guide the operations team. Okay.
Sure. Okay. Thanks, Prashant.
Thank you. Over to you, Magesh. Okay.
Hi, Prashant. Yeah. So my question is basically, as you said, this difference between for traditional AI, Gen AI, and whatever it is. Okay. So that the common is that is LLM, right? So in that life cycle which you explained it, if you agent AI and that is AI agent and agent AI is where that is different in that life cycle. Just to replace this.
Again, I'm saying,
Can
I'm
you
saying
go?
one more thing. Yeah. I'll make it very clear here. See, what happens is actually they are not different. That's what I'm trying to say from the very first, right? So they are not different ideally. Let me just take you to that part. Like they're all same. Yeah, this is the one. Okay. See, if you see the AI agents here, okay, these are the components. Even for agentic AI, also same components. Agentic AI is handling complex scenarios. Like for an example, you want to have multiple agents. Like let's say one agent for reading the document, another agent for summarizing the document, third agent for reviewing the document, fourth agent for sending the email. Now, multiple agents in one single agent you are putting in. That is a complex scenario where agentic AI will come into the picture. Now, let's say you are creating only one agent. That is to book a ticket. That's it. After that, nothing else. Then it will be an AI agent because you have only one agent which will help you to serve the purpose. So that is the reason the AI agent says, okay, that I am actually agentic AI only. But as an AI agent, I will only serve for one purpose. One activity I can do. But if you need multiple activities, for that you need multi-agents, and then you can use agentic AI which can handle the complex scenario and you can create multiple agents within that. So both are same. Only line which gets a cut across is the concept and everything remains the same. Only line which gets cut across is AI agent will have only one agent which it's going to focus upon. Agentic AI will have multiple AI agents present inside it which can handle a lot of different scenarios inside it. That is the only difference we need to understand here, Magesh. Are you clear?
Yeah, Prashant. Yeah, I understood. And one more thing, can you share that some other model as well, like Gemini 1.5 Flash? Do you have some other?
So that okay, you need what you need in that model so that I can send it to you tomorrow.
See,
you need an
actually,
architecture for that.
yeah. See, basically,
Mm.
Anything just for that to understand. For you share only
The
for
Gemini
Flash, right?
model
So if
architecture,
you
right?
have any other model, I will try to. Yeah,
No problem.
yeah.
I will
Thank you.
share that documentation. Okay, just remind me tomorrow, Magish. I'll be definitely bringing in that data and we'll be sharing it to you. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Over to you, Neeraj.
Hi, Prakash. Uh, Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you, Neeraj.
Yeah. Actually, yes. The way the simple text we have coded in the Gemini today, right? The same way it can be done through front end like N8N tool, something like that, right?
We can
What
do.
I have understand.
Yes.
So here in this one, we have just a link with the LLM, not with the memory, right? Like whatever we have queried, we would not able to recall again.
Correct. So yes, we are not integrating any memory. That memory, if you want to integrate it, we will be seeing it further, okay, in the upcoming sessions. Correct. But this is a very basic one where we integrated with LLM. We took the LLM capabilities. We are asking the question, and you'll see the response being generated. And when you run for the next time, when you run it for the next time, right, what will happen is it will not give you the same words and the same patterns because it doesn't remember the existing response which it provided. So as you rightly said, no memory configurations are being done over here.
Okay. So yeah, so in the past slide, as we have done that, we have tools integration, we have memory integration, all
That
these
we will
things.
learn further. Yeah, that we'll learn further
Okay.
once we move to the little bit advanced concepts as we progress day by day. Okay. It's a very
Oh,
basic one, so everyone can understand how the integration can be done with the LLMs in an easier manner, and you can fetch the responses. That's the major idea.
okay. Understand. Thank you.
Okay, Neeraj. Thank you. Over to you, Raghav Veera Raghav.
Yeah, actually, one question have basically you answered in the previous thing. Like, when just now we created one agent, right? An AI agent. So if you want to manage multiple agents on the decision making,
Yeah.
where it comes the
Correct.
agentic AI, that's what you mean. Yeah, that is clear. Another one, see, we would be really grateful if you can share the sample amount of exercises so that we can practice it. Just now you created one educator. Likewise, if you have any sample
Definitely.
things, it'll be
Sure.
helpful to practice because I'm from the management. I'm not
Yeah.
a coder actually, but it is pretty. You explained it very nice manner so that it is really. I'm so happy actually today's exercise. So whatever you are on the deck explaining, so those things can be uploaded in the portal or that
No,
cannot be
already it
shared.
is from portal. It is all of them are in portal. See, if you go to your LMS portal, right, which has been provided by the Edureka, okay, you see that Agentic AI Essentials, first module. Under that, the presentation is there. I'm picking that presentation only. And one
Wonderful,
more thing,
wonderful.
you also have the knowledge check also, where you can assess your knowledge, or maybe you can also do some demonstrations. Some exercises are also there in that only, the assignments and all. So everything is available in the portal. You just need to go to that module and you can work on it. If there are any questions, I'll be able to guide you. No, you need some assignments from my end. I will also be able to provide it. That's not a problem. Okay. But
Yeah.
yeah,
See,
presentations and everything is available in the portal.
yeah,
Virag.
yeah. Basically, I'm from infrastructure, okay, and as well as cybersecurity. So at the end of the my objective end goal is like we want to deploy all the AI agent and agentic AI solutions in the infrastructure and operations and all, so that we can minimize the complexity.
Absolutely.
This is where my objective. So I may just bother a little bit on the real use cases. And you have been explained a couple of AI agents types, right? So
Mhm.
it would be really helpful if you are explaining the real use cases. You already told that a medical is a one real use case. So what are the we have different agents. So with respect to the agent, what are the available the agents available on the real time vendors so that we can
Yeah,
just do a lot of research on that, and then whether it
absolutely.
is really fit into my
Correct.
organization or not, that we will take it
Sure.
forward.
Sure. Definitely, Veera. Yeah, we'll take it into
Thank you.
consideration. Okay.
I don't want
Thank
to
you.
take much time. There are many people are waiting. Thank you very much. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah, over to you, Manjusha. Okay. Mm, see.
Hi, Prashant.
Himanshu.
Thanks.
Hey,
Thanks for this wonderful session.
thank you
Actually,
so
I
much.
have one question regarding that LLM. Is it
Uh,
possible to make customization for our LLM?
Sorry, is it possible to what? To make
Customization is
LLM customization? Yeah, we will do that. Fine tuning is what we call. That is there in our topic.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah, we'll discuss that further as a fine tuning concept where you can
Mm-hmm.
customize your LLM to your domain or to your use case, and it will be able to guide you accordingly.
Okay, okay, sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Over to you, Shilpa. Or maybe I don't Shilpa. Shilpa, you
Hi.
there? Hey,
Yes,
hey.
I'm here.
Wait.
I just would like to know, actually, I miss initial half part. When this recording will be available?
Probably in next 1 2 hours you'll be seeing that it is available in the LMS portal. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. By 11 you'll see that it will be there. Thank you, Shilpa.
Okay, thank you.
Over to you, Sastri. Uh, that is saving with the dot IPYNB. What is full extension of IPYNB? That's a Python library. Okay, that's a Python extension file actually. The Python extension file in Jupyter and the Google Colab will be IPYNB. Whenever we create a Visual Studio where we will write a Python code, it will have a .py as an extension. Basically, this is a Python extension in the files. NB means? Sorry? IPYNB. Means yeah, NB. Python. Yeah. So py is a Python extension. Okay, where it is going to integrate it with the NB format. Okay, NB format. And yeah, one more down, like we have create secrets, right? Here in your case, it is showing OpenAI and Google. No, I did that. That's okay. That's okay. That is only, I mean, that is something which I worked previously. It doesn't, it's not a guarantee that you also should have that. Okay, but when I am creating this API, it is giving 90 days spend, means free of credits like. Right, for some time only, because at the end of the day, it's a business, right? They'll give for some time. At least for course content, it will be sufficient. Later, when we want to use it, maybe we can take it for the recording. So the example which you explained here right now is just we are passing one question and it has given the response with respect to that question. So like in real time scenarios also when we are dealing with multiple LLMs, so we are passing the phrase one question in the form of phrases, right? So as accordingly it will generate the answers. Correct, means, correct, exactly. Actually, I am from a data engineer background. Like we are creating pipelines in Azure Databricks and Data Factory. So the same scenario can be applied here, like when we are giving question, like in the same way, can I give a question like, can you create sample pipeline using Azure Databricks and uh, from sample from so and so table I need to get these details means like the SQL query we are writing the same way can I get those results in this question means can I pass that question like that? Yeah, you can do that. You can correlate it with your case study, but not at this point of time. We are in day one session. Once we proceed further, you'll get a better idea, and then you can correlate and can handle the things as per your case study. In that scenario, here libraries we have used import Google generative. Like the same way, we need to import several API, several libraries, right? Correct, correct. That's right. Yeah, yeah. That's right. Yeah, actually, today's session was very good. Actually, I missed out the initial introduction, some technical issues like. But no worries. We can look into the recorded session and can go back and see. If there are any questions, feel free to ask me tomorrow. Okay? Yeah, yeah. Thank you, sir. Perfect. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Over to you, Pradeep.
Hi. Thank you so much, sir. I just want to have a couple of, doubt clearance. One is, see, I'm not from technical background, but still I'm attempting to learn this. So while the videos, I'll rewatch those videos and I'll try to understand because I could not follow much, honestly.
But yes, that's not your fault. That's because of constraint from my end. But can we have some document, some in PDF or something? While watching video consumes a lot of time. Probably whatever you've taught here. Okay, let's say
So,
how do I
right.
configure API, how to set up anything as such.
Yeah, see, in the LMS portal, when you go right in your LMS portal, when you go to your demonstration like this, see, you have a documentation available. Once you click on it, right, you will see a file gets downloaded here. Okay. Once the file gets downloaded, you can just open that file. Okay, you have a documentation available. See, everything very clearly present. Now, if I open this document, it will give you everything, whatever I have discussed today. Okay. See here. So this is module 2, but you can see the same for module 1 also, okay? Where it will talk you about all the different capabilities which you can be able to go through. Okay?
Oh, okay, okay. If that is
Yeah,
there, then it helps. It helps.
yeah, we have to
maybe.
go to just explore there. Everything is available there. I already kept everything, whatever is required, so that these type of things may not occur once the sessions are completed. That's the reason.
Because I went through this, the first, I've downloaded that, but see what I was looking for, I'll be very specific, okay, without consuming much time. That probably, what you meant by importing Google generative AWS, and what is the definition when you
Okay.
call from Google.collab import user data, kind of, so it gives,
This this what happens is I'll put, see, first of all, I'll try to make sure that how much of a documentation is required, I'll put it up. There's no doubt in that. Okay, now I understood you're talking about libraries. Okay, Python libraries and all.
I mean,
But I'll say you
libraries is
one thing,
what
Pradeep.
exactly this code defines, what is like what is
Understood.
a output of this basically, yeah, kind of.
Correct, correct. Definitely we'll try to put it up. But what I'll make you understand is, Pradeep, the moment you complete this entire session, by that time you'll automatically get to know with a different trial and error approach, like how the things has to be used. But I'll make sure wherever documentation is available, wherever documentation has to be supplemented, I'll try to provide that. Okay?
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Over to you, Sushma. See, Sushma. Over to you, Manoj.
Hello.
Okay, Manoj.
Thank you for unmute. Actually, my question is, can we execute this code on our local machine, or it's required only online platform?
So you can execute wherever you wish. That's up to us. We use Google Colab as one of the medium. If you have any other PyCharm, Anaconda, Python, Visual Studio Code, you can execute wherever you want, as long as API key is appropriate. That's it.
Okay. I have installed Jupyter Notebook on my local host, so
Fine. You can do
this
there
code
also.
will work there.
Yeah, it can work. Absolutely, it
Okay.
can work.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thanks.
Thank you. Over to you, Sushma.
Hi, Prashant. So I have two questions. One, what are all the AI agents we are going to build in this entire session? And the second one, are we also building multiple AI agents like a holistic agentic AI solution with couple of human in the loop, errors or not the errors, human in the loop checks at each point, so that can be much more closer to the real life examples.
Correct. Second one we are going to cover, human in the loop, which is required, Shishma. First one, what are we going to cover, the case studies and all. Maybe if you can see the orientation session where I covered everything what we are going to do. But at a very high level, once we go to the day 3 sessions, that is over the next weekend onwards, day 1, day 2, is to make everybody well equipped with what is the agentic AI, Shishma. That's the major target. Starting from the day 3 onwards, we'll build some resume agents, like where people can validate the resumes and check out some profile skill sets, and then we'll start creating some multiple AI agents. So it's going to be pretty exciting, Shushma, going forward. One will level by level, we will increase multiple case studies with LangChain, Crew AI, like different frameworks in AI agents, and then let's say AutoGen. There are different frameworks which we are going to leverage and then move forward, Shushma. So all these topics I covered in the orientation session, which is already available in the LMS portal as a recorded session. You can please go through it. But yeah, we have some good amount of case studies. By using different agentic frameworks, we'll be able to move further after the day 3 sessions.
Got it. Okay, I'll take a look at it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, Sushma. Thank you. Okay, then everyone, I answered all the questions, whatever I can from my best. As I said, whatever you all have raised the hands. But if you think that I have not answered any question, don't worry. We are not ending it today. It's just a day one session. We still have further sessions also, everyone. So I will definitely be able to assist you in whatever way it can be. But please bear with me because there are 100 plus participants, everyone. It's also very difficult for me. See, I took almost like half an hour additional time to answer these questions only. Okay. So that's what. In wherever it is feasible, I'll try to work upon and we'll see the best which can be taken up in this entire course. So thank you once again, everyone. Please make sure that you acknowledge the feedback from everyone. If you really like the session, I would request you to please go ahead and you can rate it high and you can provide your valuable comments. And again, we'll join tomorrow at the same time with the next topics which are aligned for AI agentic architecture. Okay. Thank you once again, everyone. Have a great time. We will meet again in our upcoming session with further topics. Bye-bye and take care.